Felt smart because I remembered how to tie a bow tie. So hopefully that counts for something. See, what set are we casting? I think we're going to do Nia's target. I guess we do the same one that T90's doing, just so that we can do both. Game 1 will be stranded, and I'm slightly late, so I'm just going to load into the game, and I'll do the scoreboard once we're in. Here I can see both of my chats. Hexacaddy, hello, hello. And here we are. We will have... Oh gosh, Niaz doesn't even have a name. Niaz against target. Apologies for the clan tag, but I got to make sure it fits in the overlay. Still working on updating that so I can have some custom overlays. But here we are. We'll have Niaz as the blue Dravidians to the southwest, target as the red Portuguese to the northeast. And this will be T90 Titans League. Let me double check. This is still silver. Yes, this is still silver. So Dravidians, Portuguese, 2 Nomad Civs. We could see Elephant Archers versus Organ Guns. Let me just make a quick announcement on Discord that we're live too. I should do one of those. We hit the sub goal, so it's time for a Tuxedo stream. Come join as we cast some TTL sets. And let's see, what do we have over here? Copy and paste the YouTube URL. Boom, there we are. Alright, oh, Twitch is an ad break, silly Twitch. Okay, so Niaz will bring the elephant in, have this blue veil, lowering the elephant under the TC. And I'm glad I'm at least just in time for the first game. It's a Nomad start, so we don't miss too much of the Dark Age. And it is nice and calm in the Dark Age. I'm slightly late because I had to remember how to tie a bow tie. And just make sure I'm not spilling my coffee on my tuxedo. Hello there, biggest discus. I have my coffee over here. I gotta be extra careful. I got everything set up on my desk not to spill anything on my white tuxedo. I'll put my phone over on the side so I'm not knocking that onto anything. And, oh yeah, also stream elements should be fixed, so the alerts should work. The subs. So, I would love to get to that custom video alert. I don't know if we'll get there, but I might just do the videos anyway. So both players doing pretty much the same thing, gold and wood line. Sometimes you can do the TC on a little wood line on the shoreline, have it a bit closer to yourself. But pretty much you have to walk to the middle if you want the big wood line and the gold. So how's everyone doing in the chat? Hope you're all having a lovely January. I've been having some wonderful days of shoveling snow and dealing with car issues. Hopefully that gets fixed soon. I was watching old ESL games. ESL? You mean ECL? Wait, ESL. What is ESL? I don't know what ESL is. We're lulling. ECL. Okay, was I like in the chat then? Or was I like in the audience? So I was physically there. I didn't cast while I was there though. I wasn't really a caster then. In the audience, yes. Yeah, the ECL back in the day, that was a trip. Because I helped them set up back in the day for ECL. And in the back hallway they had the bathrooms. And when they had an AoE 3 event, they had the audience camera and realized that the audience camera could see the bathrooms. So we had to very carefully adjust the audience camera not to pick up the back hallway. Because if someone opened the bathroom door, we did not want the camera having vision of that. Yeah, with Zach. Yeah, good old Zero Empires. Talked to him a while ago. He was doing some AoE 2 scenario, but he probably just didn't have time for it. And we're back to AoE 4 things. So just fish booms for both players. Question is, do you go fast feudal or fast castle on this map? And so far, I've seen fast castle. The fish can get pretty far from your docks, so Dravidian fishing ships that carry more. We have a carry capacity of 30 compared to the standard capacity of 15. The CA Pro pop-up would get out of the way. And there we go, feudal age for both. It's pretty much the same feudal age, spot on, 17 bills to 18 bills. But different approaches here. We have a barracks that will turn into men-at-arms. Is he? Oh, he's working on age 4. He's a relic employee who survived all of the rounds of layoffs they've had and is working on Age of Empires 4. So he's still around. He's just not doing. Hard to sit on a chair with a jacket. He's just not doing community or streaming stuff anymore. So Target's going for a forward dock. So different approaches. Nia's going for men-at-arms, Target going for the forward dock. Target so far no barracks. He will be relying on his TC and his walls to protect himself. And having the TC on the back wood is nice, but I also fear that it might give you maybe a false sense of security if you chop through this wood too quickly. Say your tower pushed off your wood line and have to go back to that wood line. You won't have it anymore. So does the TC defend the entire wood line? Why, yes. Yes, it does. Will these 4 men-at-arms by themselves do anything? No, they won't. They will require the follow-up tower from these villagers, and Target will likely have to do a counter tower. Barracks for him. And here is... what is Niaz's scouting? If he's able to scout the barracks just going up now, then he probably has a good idea that Target's trying to go on water, and we will have a couple of fire galleys now queued for Niaz as he adds in the men-at-arms upgrade. And a palisade wall here for Target as the men-at-arms still run around. Range goes up and the archers will pop out, and it will be a tower back behind the wood line for Niaz as we have Arson on the way from the barracks. And Arson to help these men-at-arms who already have a hill bonus break through that house even faster. You see Arson so much because it is indeed at the barracks. You don't need to spend wood on the blacksmith to get it like you would for forging. It is instantly an upgrade to help you break through the houses. So fishing ships here for Target, being spread out a bit as he does another dock and keeps fires going around the outside to get to the back of Niaz's fishing eco. Now Niaz does have a couple of fire galleys for defense. Target might steal a buffalo. But so far so good as far as walling is concerned for Target, but he does have to do his own defensive tower. And it is the tower in combination with the men-at-arms that are the problem here. And the way he placed his tower, it will actually be vulnerable to the men-at-arms. If they actually had moved themselves to avoid the TC. Oh, and what a wall from Target. House going up to stop the men-at-arms from breaking through again. The house is in a nice location. Archer hits the Vil. Tower shooting at the tower. If this tower had fletching, it could hit the Vil and stop the tower from going up. Niaz will decide, you know what, let's get out while the getting's good. Don't want to lose too many men-at-arms running from that tower. I'll just put my archers in this tower, and then won't have as much idle time. Oh, but actually we have a range from Target. Target putting his archers inside too. Niaz, just in the nick of time, notices he needs to run that archer. Takes a volley of arrows, but actually maybe not in the nick of time. If the archer goes down, 1 HP left. He'll hop in the tower and heal. 1 HP is all you need. Meanwhile, on the water, we still have 7 fishing ships to 5. A couple of those fishing ships on the shorefish, and the fish are being taken really quickly. It's surprising how quickly your fish run out on this map. I don't think it has low numbers of fish or anything. They just get fished really quickly with that starting fishing ship. It's Nomad start where you're fishing right from the start, so you spread out faster. And oh, Niaz wanted the archer, but dove into some TC fire. And we'll be sending some skirms around now to deal with the archer, as Target, as I said, almost finished with this wood line, and putting the lumber camp on the back wood line now. Kind of why I like the TC on the front wood line, and then subsequent lumber camps in the rear. Essentially has 1 more lumber camp than he needs right now, and less wood back here. And with the TC here, if you abandon it, you can then do a second tower back here. And looks like Niaz will come forward with that fire galley, going for the fishing ships. And Target will find some stone and desperately mine the stone. Loom on the way from Niaz. And fire galley from Target attacking the dock. Some fires pop out. Skirm hitting the archer, as some skirms and another man-at-arms comes over. And this is now awkward for Target, who has to fight with the Vils. Has to fight with the Vils and run them away. It's a low HP Vil, down he goes. And this is the stone mine that he wants for another tower. and he might not be able to get the tower on the water. Another fire coming forward, but Nia's already prepared to defend that. That forward dock has really not accomplished much, as Nia still has an advantage on the water. Being disrupted from your wood line certainly hurts you on the water, and that one gap at the bottom of the tower for the men-at-arms proving worthwhile for Niaz. He needs to be careful of his vills that he needs to garrison. He's microing the skirms against the archers on the other side, and the archers do get within murder holes range, but they might just be in that range to their detriment, as the vills can fight them. They don't have fletching, Niaz does, and this should be cleaned up. Things looking better and better for Niaz as he's chasing more of Target's fishing ships around with his fires. Target gets forward to the dock, but Niaz again prepared more fires. And it seems like he's ready for everything Target's throwing at him, even has a couple of buffaloes out there. Skirms and archers come forward as the men-at-arms will maybe attack a couple houses here. I want to pick another Vil. Archer goes down, and we'll have a tower coming up from Target. Maybe more Vils go down, though. 42 to 34 eco units. And will these archers pick another Vil? They're going for the skirms, rather. There's some very weak Vils here. The men-at-arms getting involved. And the army will be sacrificed under the tower to pick the Vils. Now, even under the tower, look at that from Niaz. The micro. Able to hit these Vils. This is so awkward for him with skirms, and Target will call the GG. Niaz takes a quick 1-0 lead there. Very well done from Niaz on Stranded. 23 to 14 KD. And felt like Target had a good plan going forward for that dock. It felt like at the start, almost everything had worked out for Target the way he envisioned. Forward dock, Niaz wasn't harassing his fish on water. And walls to defend against the tower rush. But that awkwardness of needing to move from the front wood line to the back and defending with towers against the men-at-arms is a bit too much for him. So, well done. Well done for Niaz. And let me actually get my scoreboard here, so now that I have the drafts. See, Target's on the left, Niaz is on the right. This is silver. We have 2 silver sets, so we'll be doing Rex after this. What is this? This is we hit the sub goal, so we're doing a Tuxedo stream. Guess the mic's kind of in the way of the bow tie. I gotta get that out of the way. There we are, and the next map will be Northern Crossings. Italians, Armenians. We can check off some maps here. That's Stranded, one by Niaz. And that was Dravidians winning. Well, what was Target that game? Or Portuguese, right? Portuguese. Portuguese all the way at the end. Didn't go for Italians. Tuxedo and Target. Does he get more American? Well, Target's German. Target is German. Now we attempt to drink coffee without spilling it. Yes, we add in coffee to make it even more American. Not the Target. I visited Smarthy years ago, and we went to the Target, like the main Target in Minneapolis, where they have their headquarters. You mean the department store? Get some other mug for the Tuxedo stream? No, you gotta risk it. So, we have Target here in the red. To the west, he'll be playing as the Italians. Niaz to the east. In the blue, he'll be the Armenians. 2 good water hybrid map civs. It is Northern Crossings. You start with a transport ship, and you cannot wall the crossings off. There is rock terrain behind it. You can go for a big circular wall. And one thing I did for this map, I split the gold piles. I split the gold piles up, so you don't have all your golds on one side of your TC. Interesting that the main stone is farther out than the gold. Maybe I gotta make a small adjustment to that, but I guess the stones are pretty far for both players. Transport around the back of the back for Niaz, searching for Target to do a hidden dock. I also think I centered the TC more in the island, so you have your side islands out to the side. Then your TC more in the middle. You shouldn't have the TC over to one side, right next to the crossing. At least single color? What do you mean? Single color. Coffee is the most important part of the stream. No, it's not. Just gotta make sure the pocket square isn't falling into the pocket. Oh, and there we go, a sheep in the transport. There we go. Nice little sheep stealing. Scouting sheep. Hops onto the transport for Niaz. And target will try to push in the ibexes. Great casting today. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you very much, Ortega Alejandro on YouTube. Thank you very much. See, YouTube gives me a like button and a heart button. I'm not sure which of them I can click. I can click the heart button. Thank you very much. Or the, what does YouTube call them? Super chats. Super chats. And, oh, now I'm thinking, should the goats be close enough to the shoreline that the transport can take them? Huh, that's whenever I cast maps, I get all these ideas about things, northern crossings, goats, distance from shore, stone versus gold, distance, ibex, pathing. We had gotten a question on the tournament Discord the other day. I think it was Stone Please. I don't know if the Germans practice together. Target and Stone Please are both German. But Stone Please had asked if any of the maps were a larger size. We had considered increasing the size of northern crossings. And Golly, hello Golly, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, so Stone Please had asked were any maps one size larger, and the answer is Seychelles is. Back in the original game, if y'all were back when we played AOC with the 1999 graphics, there were some maps that were hard-coded to be one size larger, so you would pick tiny in the lobby, and when it generated, it would actually be small. And same if you picked a team game, it'd be larger and whatnot. That was mostly water maps, such as islands. It was done, I presume the original devs did it so that you'd have more room for water on the outside without making the islands too small. We didn't do that for Northern Crossings, but we had considered it. We do think that the wood lines are maybe a bit scraggly and can be hard to get generating properly. Like here you have these two wood lines together, and it's this big black forest, and your ibexes can be behind the wood lines. Which usually it's kind of awkward for both players, and the map's been used enough in tournaments in the past that we felt it was fine, and we didn't want to do something different than what players were used to. But we put a good bit of thought into whether we wanted to make the map a size larger and maybe spread the wood lines out more, because there really isn't much more room to position them on the map. I don't see... You always got to keep an eye out for sneak forwards or sneak docks with that transport ship. And also just units walking across the shallows now. We saw Deduzu try to do a forward TC at one point. That was crazy. And it got castle dropped right away. Can you fit a TC here? Ooh, I don't think you could. This would be an amazing lumber camp, though. Lumber camp right here in this corner. Oh, and you're chopping trees for days. So different approaches here. Forward dock from Niaz, back dock from target. And that transport ship from Niaz will indeed see that target went for the back dock. Niaz is scouting. Part of me hoped that would be a villager going to do a forward dock, but it is just a scout. An H2 Evil for days. Oh, is there a reference I should understand? Oh, for days. I literally just said those words on Lumber Camp. There we go. The hard thing about casting is remembering what you say when you then read the chat and they say the thing you said. And then you're like, wait a minute. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. They're referencing me. You are the reference. Also, you start with a hut because you have the transport ship, so you have pop space. Yeah, I got there eventually. I haven't finished the coffee yet. I spent extra time remembering how to tie a bow tie that I was slightly late and didn't drink my coffee early enough. And there we go, up to feudal for Niaz. Immediately, he is housed. Oh no, Niaz housed, doesn't have his build order perfected here. And we'll be doing double bit axe and potentially losing the scout, taking a volley of arrows from target's TC. Hello, nightlife. I don't watch TV either. I just watch Age of Empires. So Neo's here going for a land approach, adding in a few militia, turning them into men-at-arms. Same approach he did in the previous game, and it had worked out for him, but there he had a tower. But immediately he is taking advantage of the crossing part of Northern Crossings. And the men-at-arms will attack the house. Which casino are we robbing? I don't actually know of any casinos in Jersey. I guess there are probably some in Atlantic City still. I just remember the Trump one shut down years ago. No, I don't think you wear a white tuxedo to a wedding. So Vil hits the scout. And oh my gosh, the target with the preemptive tower doesn't even see where Niaz is placing the tower, just knows, he felt. He's like, Niaz has to be going for the tower on this wood line. He did the same thing last game. Men-at-arms, long swordsman, and a trush. So right away he does the preemptive tower, and in a great location, even if this tower does go up, hits the Vils over here, target can run to this side of the wood line. But great tower between the stone and the gold, but this is the reason I adjusted the map to split the stones up onto separate sides. The stone back here, not tower rush, so if target needs to, he can run out there. He can run out there to the back. And that is arson on the way for Niaz. Some more Vils are mining the gold over here. That Vil getting stuck. Look at him carrying that. That guy is strong to hold that gold for so long. How much do we think that gold weighs? I think someone said like 200 pounds the other day. What happened to his pickaxe too? If you see the female Vil, like uses the pickaxe to carry the gold. Male Vil, I think, just carries it. Over here, some repairs on that market as the longswords still try to push in. Tower will likely be denied as this tower has Vils in it, and we do have target up, we'll get more HP. Way more like 500 pounds. Wouldn't surprise me, that looks very heavy. Well, those Vils are muscular for a reason. If they were pure gold, yeah, it would be a lot. I do miss the AOC graphics that were little bits of gold inside of stone. And it was a multicolored mine, not just the solid gold. We'll need to mod those back someday. Vils frozen in time. And meanwhile, on the water, some fire galleys from Niaz getting around to the back. But because the dock is so far away, the fire galleys took a long time to get there. We do have 10 fishing ships for Niaz. The fishing in the middle isn't that great because of the island with the bear and the golds. Hello, Tim C. AoE. Welcome into the chat. Yeah, you're right, I'm drinking coffee. I probably should have a martini for this cast. Coffee is extra effective at waking me up in the morning, though. So Vil repairing the fire galley. And nice to have the Tower Rush Vil able to repair the fire galleys. Part of the key to this map is finding ways to disrupt fish that are all the way in the back. Uses the pickaxe for gold. I mean, it's hard to tell because they have such a short distance. But the pickaxe for the female Vil, when they carry gold back to the mine, it doesn't disappear. Let's see if I can pause for a second at the right moment. Oh, okay, I just missed it. Hold on, we'll get the next one. We'll get the next one. Okay, so you see the male Vil there, he's not carrying a pickaxe. He's not carrying a pickaxe. We go over, and... I missed one. Okay, almost there, almost there. Getting me distracted. Then we gotta look at the game. Oh. Male Vil did it again. Okay, I'm not gonna catch it, it's too close, never mind. They hold the pickaxe, they hold the pickaxe. Anyway, monk defense for target. Are we still here? Probably. This one will catch it. She's farther away. She's a tile farther away. We're like 3 tiles farther away. We'll get a good view as she's walking around. Longsword's of course back, and I think Nikov is adding another dock. You can see that she is still holding the pickaxe while carrying the gold. The male villager isn't. He's just holding the gold. She carries it and like places the gold on top of it and uses the pickaxe to help hold it. guess it just makes it all heavier. Pickaxes are heavy enough themselves. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nia's also idling his fishing ships for a bit. Oh, has to be careful of the longswords in that transport ship as the fire ship for target comes over. And we'll stop the dock from doing, or stop the Vil from doing the dock just in time. And he goes back to do the house. Demo coming over for target. Will the demo be enough to save his fire galley? It might. Oh, it definitely is. Boom. And abandoning the TC there, his target, wanting to make extra sure that he doesn't take any damage on his Vils. Longswords might need to garrison in the transport to break the conversion. I've never tried the AoE 2 card game. Somewhere in a drawer, somewhere, I have cards from it, though. I don't know where I got them. I think they might have came when I purchased AoE 3? I have no idea where I got them, but somewhere, as a nice demo comes in for Niaz, I do have cards for the card game. I have the Age of Mythology board game, too. We tried to play that once, but by the time we read the rules, we were bored. And no one wanted to play. Fire ship here takes down the fishing ships. Alright, so booming away is target. 2 TCs, Niaz doing his second. Probably disappointed he couldn't fit it right here. Would have had an amazing lumber camp location. He still do the lumber camp there. I hope he does. I want to see a lumber camp there. And he's chasing down the transport as target will go now for a forward dock. War Elephant cosplay when? Also praised how to load Noob Netrum. YouTube giving me the member for 4 months elite cataphract notification. Thank you very much. Longswords attacking the villager. And she goes. And Stone Maple, thank you very much for the sub with Prime. I've got to check if the alert plays. I saw stream elements. Yes, it does play. Yes.
Mongols! Run for your lives!
Salve.
Saw Stream Elements post on Twitter that they pushed a fix to their alerts not playing. Hello, Grim. Thank you, thank you. The fire ships keep chasing the other fire ship down across the back. Niaz adding in his third TC. We can catch up to real time while we were looking at those dock bills earlier. And Demo's going for the fire. Get the fire. Unfortunately, don't get the Vil. And a few fire ships from Niaz were trying to race around to the back of Target's island again, but once again intercepted by Target, who's done a great job defending all game. But he will be losing a fire down south. Again, we can speed up just a bit while they're booming. And players starting to go fires in the middle, as that is where Niaz has all of his fishing eco. Now, if we get late game with Cilician Fleet, I do think... Oh, the warrior priest is attacked by a bear. He's getting stuck on the stone. Bears don't attack monks, but they do attack warrior priests, apparently. I do think the Armenians have the better ships. Their Cilician Fleet heavy demos and Dromans are crazy. But the Italians probably have the better imp transition, or an early imp? So there's a timing window where target can retake the water. And good job there by Niaz to pick up that relic. Bring it back to his monastery. He's up by 1.5k res collected so far. And hello, Bleda the Hun. The university in the back for target. 16 versus 4 fires, and Niaz still has 9 fish. A lot of his fish have been in the middle working on shorefish, though, but... yeah, some of them are around the back, and he is adding in more docks in the back. And probably is wise for the Armenians to go for the back dock, just to make sure the Italians with their cheaper imp and their cheaper dock techs don't overrun them with fast fires right away. Give yourself time to get Cilician Fleet heavy demos, and the fires shouldn't pose a threat anymore. I guess the other option is to try to go forward dock and try to go for early imp Dromans. That demo doesn't want to hit the fire that's being converted, but the fire goes down. Fire is holding the crossings here. And, oh, what is this? We have a monastery or fortified church and a workshop in the south for Niaz, trying to do some damage to Target. Target, who actually has almost overchopped his wood line. And it's full warrior priest plus monk. Warrior priests are incredibly strong, 95 hit points. I believe sanctity applies to them, so they go from 80 to 95. And considering long swords have 60 hit points, and they have, I think, 9 attack compared to the 11 of the warrior priests, this unit is crazy. The only downside is the monk armor class, so it takes extra bonus from scouts, but from what I've seen, they actually beat scouts. And then you do it from the fortified church, so you don't even need extra resources for barracks or anything. It's one building, and you have monks plus priests. And at the same time, we're down to 4 fishing ships for Target. They themselves are on shorefish, not being all that effective. He has taken most of the fish in the back corner. And fires for you guys at the front will go down. Still has water control there. He's down to 3 fishing ships. And Target does have the score lead, and he is up to Imp first. He is up to Imp first. So giving himself a shot with the Imp timing. More fires come over for Target, and we'll have Atonement on the way for Niaz. Ooh, there's a good demo. Takes out the fire. Low HP fire, anyway. Is it an announcement for Noble Apartment Cup? I wish. It's a shame that got canceled, but I did enjoy King of the Desert, at least. Imperial Age and Sanctity on the way for Target. And Atonement ready to convert some monks. Interesting that we do have Sanctity, but they can be useful in helping to convert ships and retake water, as we see Niaz himself doing here. Already with Sanctity. And if you had Redemption, honestly, Redemption monks to convert docks feels pretty darn strong, as the Mangonel goes down to some TC fire. That hut's been on fire for a long time and is still standing. I don't see Niaz up to Imp. He has a good score lead, but part of that's Target's spending on Imp. And Redemption and Imperial Age, both on the way for Target. Castle drop? Oh, we do have stone for Target. I don't know where he'd drop it, though. He doesn't have any forward presence. Oh, unless you mean for Niaz. I was looking at the stone count and like, Niaz can't drop a castle. That's because he spent the stone already. And Target is... if he's paying attention, he's not reacting, so none the wiser to it, despite it being clearly in his vision. Gets the dock up if he wants forward docks. Maybe he could go quick chemistry for Cannon Galleon. That is good map presence from Niaz to slow down the faster Imp transition that Target had wanted. And now we have Imperial Age 240 away for Niaz as Target gets up. Hello, Red Cliffy, how you doing? Some fires on the water. They should become fast fires soon. It's Devotion first for Target, as he's more worried about the monk rush. Siege Workshop goes down, but the monks keep pressuring. Civils have to run away. We're running out of resources here. His Target, he has a stone and a gold, still controlled by that fortified church. And it doesn't look like the early Imp is giving him water control at all, trying to do block printing and Devotion. And now I'm worried that the Armenians will be able to control this center island. Somehow no advantage by Imp at all, indeed. And over here, some fishing ships going down. And demos wanting to go boom. Don't really get a good shot, though. No Cilician fleet yet. There is fast fire. Will fast fires be useful against the Armenians, though? Maybe the plan should just be full-on galley focus, but I guess those lose to Armenians, too. Fast fire, and where is the dock? Right here. Doesn't have many docks left. And now he's lost his other gold. So this is what I had done. I split up the golds so that you have your main gold by your TC, and your 2 extra golds are split up so you don't have everything on one side, so they can't be denied by one castle drop. But here's Niaz with the Armenians, with a church on one side and a castle on the other, trying to disrupt both golds. White Tuxedo, yes. And hello, Sunnyflower. Trib attacking the castle. Castle desperate repairs by Niaz to try to keep it alive for now. I don't see chemistry for target, so he won't be getting any of those cheap Italian bombard cannon. And on the water, I don't see any red dots at all. A few around the south. He does have fast fire ship, but 4 fire ships won't retake the water for him. Niaz even recognizing, you know, it's only a church here. Let's be more secure. I'll stone wall in that gold. Be extra careful to ensure target is denied of gold. And honestly, wouldn't mind like a forward dock and some dromons, or just dromons from these docks. Take out these docks and then push in at that castle. Trib, going for the other tribs. Trib. Ooh, Trib just missing. And now, what does target have to do to get back? He has to use the fast fires and take one really good fight on the water. And hope that after winning the fight, that gives him some momentum. But careening is on the way for Niaz. And it feels like the Armenians have gotten to the point of the game where they want to be at, where they're ready to go for water domination in the late game. Still, he needs Cilician fleet, but he'll probably do that at the back castle. As he's gotten to Galleon, and he's getting upgrades on them. Chemistry just finishing, and now with all the upgrades on the galleons, can take decent fights against the fire ships. With his Imperial Age ships. And there it is, Cilician fleet and masonry even for more HP. He does lose the forward castle, and we do have a castle drop from target in the south. Castle drop needs to give him access to that gold. Probably needs to make sure the castle is targeting the walls instead of those houses for the moment. And remember, fortified churches do require units garrisoned, vills or relics for the Armenians to shoot arrows. Actually, now that I think about it, do monks or priests shoot arrows for the Armenians? I think it has to be vills or relics. Maybe it could be monks. But anyway, a couple of warrior priests still, with that church not being cleaned up, could go and raid that stone. We still have a trip fight in the north. There's a few galleons come over. Try to attack the vills by the TC. Try to attack the TC themselves. Galleons can be good at taking out TCs. And oh, there's a normal demo with Cilician fleet. Now we just need heavy demo. And you know, now that I think about it, I said you can't wall off the shallows. You could dock block both sides of the shallows and then wall between the docks. So yeah, now that I think about that, I am wrong about that. You can wall the shallows. Wants a conversion on these houses. I have devotion and padded archer armor on the way for Niaz, as Niaz goes for a castle in the middle. And 124 to 98 vills. Things are looking better and better for Niaz, as he soon can get out dromons and destroy this castle from the sea. So I'm thinking target's gonna go down 2-0 here. It was interesting he played Northern Crossings, but didn't have any type of special strategy for it. We didn't see an aggressive landing. I guess he liked having the Italians as the civ, but other than that, kind of played it normally, like Northern Isles would be. Didn't have any type of crossing-specific strat or transport strat for it. Now we have a watchtower for Niaz. That's probably not the best idea underneath Trebs. And while target trying to get his numbers up on the water again, going for careening. That'll be a guard tower now from Niaz, trying to send vills forward for a dock. Target maybe getting a bit of space around here with vills to the south of Niaz's island. That'll be 2 barracks for him, trying to go for condottiero raids. But the towers will take down one of the vills. 4 HP Vil remains, and Niaz just has to notice her. At the top, target's trying to push the docks again, but Niaz is taking an even larger score lead, as that Vil will stand under the TC and hope that she blends in. In the south, that church still stands. The castle does go down to some dromons. Some dromons are there, they can hit the TCs. And that's why the score is increasing despite targets getting back on the water. That's all that matters. One day I want to get, like, more suits, but I need occasions to wear them. Want to see the Vil under the TC? Well, she is still there. She's just hanging out under the TC. There's all sorts of mayhem going on over here. A crossbow raiding the gold. Oh, she gets stabbed down by another villager Niaz notices. And no mercy, stabs down that red villager. There's an imposter among us, and Niaz tossed her out the airlock. Yeah, usually I don't go for white in the winter, but if we're just streaming, it's a nice occasion to do it. And oh my gosh, is this a stand ground patrol to make Dromans do more damage? Target, I think it's time to call the GG. Oh no. And there is the GG. Yeah, outside camouflage. There's the 2-0 for Niaz. And well done for Niaz there to win game 2. Okay, get an ad going, and then we'll get to game 3. Oh, I had the scoreboard wrong. I'm sorry. Outside of game scoreboard is wrong. And African River will be our final map. It's a loss for the Italians and a win for the Armenians. And Maya could be interesting for this map with all the hunt. I can wear a tux to the Royal Albert Hall. Can you? Maybe not for an age event, though. That's a good idea. Shouldn't I have started? I did do that. I did do that during the, we actually hit that goal during the first stream. So we started with that. Maybe we can combine them. I can do the chicken suit with a bow tie and the wings and the Teutonic Knight helmet. Another entertaining game on Circle Arena? You mean Coast Arena? Is there... I think I've casted every single game that has been played on that map so far. Unless I missed one. Well, maybe if we hit the final sub-goal, we can combine all the costumes. I'm only gonna do this for, maybe until the end of the month, though. 2 more days. Good news, I've successfully finished my coffee without spilling it on myself. And we have 15 seconds to spec delay remaining for African River. It'll be Malay for target and Georgians for Niaz. Never heard of Niaz? He upset Viper in Sudden Disaster. He is French. Niaz is from France. Hello, Socks. The same country. You can go say hi to him. Walk down the street, say hello. So, African River. Here immediately Niaz will be pushing in a zebra. This is his home map. Target is the Malay. And I would love to see some fish traps from target. So, Scout Cav pushing in the zebra. They'll take the zebra. Oh, you know he meant French Polynesia? I'm pretty sure this is France. French. Oh yeah, this map again. I've liked African River so far. It's been an entertaining map with all the deer pushing. And we'll look at that. Positioning of the deer right in the middle of the TC. And alright. Here we go. Niaz as the Georgians using the mule cart to chop the wood right in the middle of the map. I was expecting to see Armenians and Georgians doing this. Here we go. Chopping the wood from the middle. 20-plus-year-old game is meant to cast every day. I'm glad. It means I don't need to do as much planning when I stream. I just turn the stream on and there's almost always something to cast. That's why I did the front page stream during Red Bull. Literally didn't need to plan anything. I was just there. Yeah, I'll cast the ladder for 8 hours. And then thankfully people were playing the whole day. Oh, Ostrich ran away from the TC at the end. So this map, on the inside, we have this little shallow pond. You can go demos here. I would be interested if Target tries to dock and go war galleys against the TC. Malay harbors could also be interesting in some situations if you could build them around the middle. Basically a wood-costing tower. What if we see harbors versus fortified churches, the two wood towers? Thank you, Zeba. Mule cart OP. Mule cart, pretty darn strong. The copy and paste of the Age of Mythology Ox cart. Reusing all of those other game bonuses. Is the middle visible to everyone? Nope. It is pretty much the same every time, just some shells and trees, so it's no surprise. And in some sense, once you scout it, you can view the animals as they're in the fog of war. So you do have some visibility here. See, Niaz didn't scout his opponent. We'll see if I have a good opportunity to show that off. I was talking about that with the Vietnamese bonus the other day, since you have the explored territory under your opponent's TC. Since you can see the animals in the fog of war. There we go. So if you see someone stealing a boar in the fog, or pushing a zebra or deer in the fog, you see the animal movement. The intention of, oh, let's make sure that players see everything they've scouted, so they don't need to remember the animals. There's a checkbox you can select in the unit data for whether or not it's visible in the fog of war. And these animals are, along with the rhinos. So barracks for Target versus dock for Niaz. You have to decide how to spend your wood in the Dark Age on this map. A lot of the time, we do see the dock. Here, though, it will be the barracks for the early militia into men-at-arms. And you do have to be careful that your men-at-arms are actually effective when the fish are out on the water. Because if you don't do damage with the men-at-arms and you don't have your own fish, you suddenly fall ridiculously far behind in economy. Am I satisfied with the numbers for the front page? I was very satisfied. We hit just shy of 5K max viewers, which I think was absolutely great. I went into that with absolutely no idea what to expect, and I was really happy with it. I'll definitely do that again as soon as I'm able to fill out the application. Maybe if we grow the stream enough, we'll be able to do the front page stream on a weekend instead of a weekday. But I think having planned to do it during Red Bull was exactly the right timing. So feudal age here for Niaz, he will be up, but a bit slower than Target, who, as the Malay, has that super fast uptime and will be a minute slower. And I do wonder where he's going to dock, if at all. So far, it looks just like it's going to be militia. And militia into men-at-arms with their armor. Now, the mule cart able to run around and escape militia pretty well. Good opportunity to wall in the back here. And a few militia will... Ooh, are they going to go for the dock? Okay, so Target, he didn't dock in the Dark Age. He decided to dock in Feudal. And he's going to go for fire galleys. Fire galleys to harass the fish on the water. As the militia will be upgraded to men-at-arms. Just as Niaz throws down his barracks foundation and the men-at-arms are getting in on the gold. Bills were not prepared for this. They'll have to carry those heavy mounds of gold back to the TC. Oh, actually, that's cool. He dropped off at the mule cart, I think? Oh, no, the Vil still has gold. Just not carrying it. Too many maps with water? Trust me, we cut down the maps with water. Initially, T91 is some more water maps. We said no.
Iya. Yasa kuka baginda.
Siap.
So dock on the side for target. And the fire ship for target with our galley focusing on the fishing ships. Will be mildly disruptive, but has to retreat to pick up some reinforcements and or a repairville. Repairville going pretty far away.
Apa shasananya
And good thing for the men-at-arms, target did scout Niaz going for a second dock. So if Niaz needs to run fishing ships, target at least will know about it. The one thing I haven't seen on this map is players doing 2 back-to-back docks for a dock block. I checked, I was thinking about that the other day, so I checked in the editor if it was possible, and it is. Pretty consistently. Down all the passages, you can do 2 back-to-back docks. Close them off. And fishing ship for Niaz used as a shield in this fight, hinking some fire from the fire galleys. Men-at-arms come forward, and the men-at-arms will be useful on the water. Where is the demo? No demo for Niaz. The fire galley's going down. What can the men-at-arms do here? Another fire galley come around for target. And maybe with the help of the men-at-arms, he can take out that fire. Hello, Bombay Gypsy. How's it going? It's going well. How do I feel about Gaia units being seen moving in the fog of war? I don't think it usually disrupts too much if you look at them and maybe pick up someone's strategy, but I think at this point it'd be really hard to change because you don't want to make players forget where their boar is. So it's the type of thing that I don't know what the alternative would be, and I don't think there is a reasonable alternative. Is this what I wore at NAC? Yes. I had another suit I brought with me, and then I also had various costumes from the costume shop Dave and I went to. And ooh, the demo doesn't quite get the Vil. Doesn't quite get the Vil. We'll have to settle for a fire. Nikov was unhappy about the number of maps with walls. We only have, out of 15 maps, you only have 4 maps with walls.
Iya.
Swasti. Apa shasananya baginda.
And the way the draft works out, it doesn't really matter how many maps with walls we have. If it's like more than 1.
Sasana.
Because you're not going to ban it before your opponent picks it. Fire galley comes forward and will pick off one of Niaz's fishing ships, maybe? Nope. Uses the other fishing ships as a shield, and Niaz will defend. Nope, Nikov isn't playing yet. This is Silver League. This is Silver League. We will have Jordan in Doubt tomorrow. In gold. We have silver and gold going on right now, platinum next week. So Niaz transitioning to the mainland as we have these docks in the southeast for target in Niaz. And the archers now coming forward for Niaz, getting in on target's wood line.
Sia.
And one Vil running away.
Siap. Apa sasananya baginda?
Archers hitting the Vil as the Vil has to run.
Siap.
Now the Vil running towards the TC.
Apa sasananya
Archers hitting
baginda?
Vils out in front.
Sasananya
Vils have to
baginda?
turn and fight the archers. Archers running. And that's one Vil down. And we have a watchtower coming up for target. Watchtower for target. And on the other side, fires attacking each other. And mule cart on the shallows for Hello, Niaz. Why are you building a mule cart there? So someone explain this mule cart to me. Maybe he was just testing. Maybe he didn't know if you could build it directly on top of the shallows, but you can. And he'll... What's he gonna do with the mule cart? I guess these make good scouts to see where the fire galleys are. Target buying food. He's about ready to go up. And so far, in terms of res collected, he's fallen down by about 800 compared to Niaz, and Niaz will get a forward dock. So dock over here, it feels like Niaz is starting to get water control. Target still does have 3 fishing ships working, and he will be the first one to click up to the castle age. And eco unit counts are still pretty similar, so as he gets to the castle age, moving over to stone, maybe it'll be a quick castle drop into karambits. And karambit warriors are very, very scary and something you can get large numbers of even on a low eco. Very cheap to produce. You can amass them rather quickly. And he has spent a lot on fire galleys. So if target is still fishing with all those fire galleys out and this hasn't been stopped, yeah, he might lose that eventually, but it's not too bad. This is, I think, the location where you could probably go for that dock block I was talking about. And actually could have blocked all those fires from sailing down here. Wrong hotkeys? I mean, that could also be the case. So, 15 seconds away from being up is target. And there we have target up to the castle age. You can build a mule cart anywhere. It's just a lumber camp. Lumber camp / mining camp / you can deposit hunt at it. Now up to the castle age, what are we gonna see from him? Still 8 vills on stone. Could buy some stone if he really wants the castle faster. Now you can't build the castle atop these shallows. You have to go around the edge. And there is a workshop in the middle from target. So it does look like he wants to be really aggressive at this point. I'll catch up in vills slightly as Niaz spends time going up. Demo for target. Let's see if he uses the demo properly. Could defend from this. Those fires are all very low. What type of demo shot is target gonna get? What type of demo shot is he gonna get? Because if he gets a good demo, he could take out a ton of fires. Oh, they are bunched up. They are bunched up. And, oh, he gets 4 of them. He gets 4 fire galleys with 1 demo. One more demo pops out and he saves all of his fish. There were 6, 7 fire galleys there? And now Niaz has to retreat. Oh, target though, chicken castle. That castle could have been forward. Niaz looks like he wants his own castle. That was a beautiful demo shot from target, keeping himself alive. And now, what can he do with karambits? Remember, they have free armor now. Free armor. He doesn't have squires or arson for them. No blacksmith attack upgrades. But he's ready to start popping out karambits.
Apa syasananya, Baginda?
Siap.
Crossbows hit the Vil, and the Vil has to run off of the berries. And, oh, okay, demo needs to be used for target. He's too distracted by the Vils coming forward. Imagine a demo right here. Karambits are out, and he's losing his fishing ships, though. At the same time, Karambit's cleaning up some crossbows. Lots of crossbows everywhere. Target has to keep running his wood Vils back and forth. He's pushing the castle Vils back. Not going to be an aggressive castle. Niaz, as he loses a couple of Vils, Target has to be wary of the TC. Going to be a defensive castle, too, for Niaz. Defensive castle atop the hill over here. Target still has 1 fishing ship as another fire galley. From Niaz goes forward. Yeah, that hill is so juicy. And Niaz not getting that wall up because the tree isn't chopped yet. But Karambit should get in if Niaz... Let's see, what does Niaz have to do to wall? Tile over here, 2 tiles over here. First 2 games were pretty good for Niaz, I think. And then the Karambit's getting the wood line, though. Karambit's getting the wood line for target. We could see some Vils going down here. And running to the tower, Karambit will fight underneath the tower and just go for Vil kills. No attack upgrades on them yet. But doesn't matter, the mule cart, what is the mule cart doing? It's just watching as the Vils die. This is a massacre of Vils. And okay, well, there is a lead in the eco KD for target. At the same time, though, there are crossbows on his wood line. He's relying on that tower to defend, and the Vils have to run off of the wood. Down in the south, there's a fire ship now. Niaz did the war galley upgrade, and he is starting to make some monaspas. So Monospos for raiding target. Now target goes for the forward castle. Alright, let's go target. Get that castle at the front. Part of me feels the first castle could have been here, and then the second castle maybe on this hill, and you take more resource. But he will go to the gold under his castle now. How does he stop the Monospa raids? I don't know. Mule carts can enter tower, yes. You can no longer drop off at them when they're inside the tower, but they can't enter the tower, indeed. Monk has to be wary of the TC. That's a good number of karambits now from target. Military population from Niaz is mostly fire ships. So that might not matter for the land too much. We'll have a TC on the outside for Niaz. And target is still on stone. Target's looking to... Oh, he's looking to call the GG. I was going to say, maybe he'll drop a third castle somewhere. Now he calls the GG. Well, Niaz takes that 3-0. Mule carts do not shoot arrows from the tower, no. Now, I was hoping we'd still have a game if he got a third castle drop. Is that an early GG? I mean, not really. He's 34 to 51 eco. He's down 3k res collected. He can probably tell from the score that's 4k1 to 2k. He's super far behind. But, I mean, I think there's still a chance he could have gone for another castle drop. He did. I mean, we did see the crossbows raiding that wood line, and he did... Oh my gosh, remember when that was 11 to 10? He lost a lot of vills there, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. There's one more set that was played simultaneously with this one, so we're just gonna keep going. We're not gonna only do one set in the Tuxedo. And that's 50 to 30 as the KD for Niaz. 3k more res collected. Didn't have the better uptime from target, but without doing the forward castle, target didn't manage to get much advantage from that. And let's see, we should have another game coming up between these two. Don't see it yet. Or no, never mind. We have Blue versus Goku. They're in game 3, but I think I start from the start on Coast Arena. So let's just update the scoreboard then, and then play a quick ad. And we'll do Blue versus Goku. He lost the remnants of his woodline off of camera. Alright, so this will be 3-0 for Niaz. As he wins African River. That was the Malay losing to the Georgians. Nice use of the mule cart, too. So, we'll start this set from the beginning, and we'll cast some Rex, I think. Because I don't want to hop into game 3, that's already a good ways underway. And I'll just update everything here. Let's see, rid of that. This will be either drafts. Blue on the left. And Goku. And it'll be Zimbabwe, Coast Arena, and Slopes. And game 1 on Zimbabwe. So I'll download the rec, and we'll get started from the beginning. I'm done with the stream today. I'll also clean up my rec folder. Let's just... Oh my gosh. Blue named himself No Way. That is beautiful. Let me update this. No, this is correct. What are their elos right now? Let me get their elos on the scoreboard. I'm just gonna say this is... One of these will be blue, and the other will be No Way. And BLVE, pronounced blue. And let me just take a good double check at their elos. Goku is 25, 50, and blue is 26, 51. Goku, of course, is from Brazil. Blue is from China. And we'll put Goku in the red. YouTube, why is that message held for review? Thank you, Sam Man. Can blue be blue? Blue always plays cyan. And I mean, this is blue enough, I think. Goku will be red, though. We're not going to have blue versus someone in blue. So, this map, right away, we did put rhinos in the south, one for each player to take consistently. And the rest of the hunt is a bit more neutral in the middle. Varying numbers of elephants per map. But I think that's part of the charm, to have at least a bit of randomness. So, blue is no way. I'll leave one of his names there because I think that's the way to go. Oh, the way have been crazy good, though. The Tiger Cav is an insane unit. Tiger Cav is an absolutely insane unit. We saw that in that Stark game yesterday against Bad Koala. And let me just triple check that blue indeed is... Actually, he's from Taiwan. I put the wrong flag there. I had to triple check that. He's Chinese, but he's from Taiwan. There. Very wrong flag. Is that Dash? Am I young? I don't know how old Dash is. Dash has been doing chess stuff recently. Taiwan, yes. My apologies. It's the very wrong flag. I just remember him playing in the LY Cup. And in the Chinese events over the summer. I horribly picked the wrong flag. Very much so. That'd be... That's like taking someone from Greenland and putting a US flag there. And is very wrong. So, boar here for Goku. And, oh, the scout trying to lure in a rhino. You don't see this... Oh my gosh. You don't see this too much these days. The scout needs to block the rhino. And the Bill can try to shoot it over the wall. In ancient Latin, there was no U, only V. So Rhino pulled in from no way. No way. They use a V as a U. Whenever I read, like from a couple hundred years ago, English texts, and I don't really know how the language has changed over time. But whenever there's an S at the start of a word, it looks like a very fancy F, like a lowercase f. I'm not sure what that was or how handwriting changed or evolved over time to change that. I have learned to read those F's as S's. Goku's been losing since yesterday. I need to read about the format. The format is there are a bunch of players all split into groups, and they essentially play a round robin of play all threes. And where you place in the group determines if you advance to gold, stay in silver, or fall out. Yeah, it is a league, yes. It is a league. So everyone will be playing 15 games. And then at the end of those games, there is a one player goes straight to gold. The second and third have a playoff to see the second player go to gold. The fourth stays in silver, and then the bottom two drop out. So not too much Vil fighting down here to the southwest between Goku and Blue. Just some zebra pushing. Fancy F got deleted because book/newspaper printers wanted to save a buck.
Hey.
Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. And Feudal Age will be in faster for our Mongols player. So Mongols on this map with all the extra hunt feel insanely good if they can manage to lure in those elephants. This is where, if you play a lot of Rage Forest, you'll have an advantage on this map. The advantage in preparing for the elephant lures. You do have to be careful that there are some shallows here, and on the shallows, you won't be able to quick wall. There are just a couple of tiles where you can't do palisades. Makes it ever so tricky to lure the elephants, and we did see someone lose a Vil out there the other day. Get a block with the scout, lure with the Vil, keep the gate open. Lots of different little things you have to do here to make sure you get them in safely. Again, this is one of Marintho's maps. And it gave us some great games in Stronghold Frenzy. And hello, Snoopy, hello. Here's a very fancy F. Yes, you'd have that at the beginning of words. Instead of an S. Drop words. Very nerdy. Nerdy sounds good. Says the guy wearing a tuxedo to cast a game from 1999. Elephants killed by the TC, and we'll have a mining camp right on the stone, right adjacent to it. So Bengali's Mongols. I know Phosphoro says that Mongols usually are a counter to his strats. I have seen Steppe Lancers versus Rathas before, and it didn't look good for the Steppe Lancers. I'm wondering how Mangudai against Rathas would play out if we do indeed have the stone mined from Blue. You missed the chicken suit. Well, I said like I said before, I don't think I did that long enough because one of the sets that day got canceled. So I'm gonna go back and whenever I co-cast TTL with T90, then we'll do the chicken suit again that day. So scouting the back is Goku, seeing that Blue is not on wood. Maybe a mistake for Goku not to try to scout the stone. I guess the stone is close enough to the edge you can see it. Why don't animals attack the building that is attacking them? The deer attack the outpost in Vinland Saga. But animals are not made to fight back against buildings. Our fancy F's your fort. Now, that was a very fancy F. And hello, coincident. Rathas do really well against Mangudai. That's what I would think. They have so much more HP than Mangudai. And they're not classified as siege, so Mangudai won't get an attack bonus against them. I do wonder if Blue would think about doing a TC in the south, where the Mongols would be able to take 3 more elephant/rhinos and a bunch of zebras. So Vil's walking over. And will be a TC. Oh, it's going to be a TC by the zebras here. So woodline and zebras. Mongols again getting more hunt. That's like 1,500 food. Yeah, you are pretty exposed to Ratha raids there. But if you're mining stone, you could also do a castle at the same time. Blue here, by virtue of scouting in the south, is also showing Goku that there's no TC there. Now, farms are normal. AoE2 gamer, farms are normal. And it'll be a TC in the north there. Speaking of exposed TCs, Goku finding an area at the top of the hill. The hills are spaced out just enough that you can get the TCs up in the right locations. Right between each step up to the top. It's completely covered in cracked terrain, though. Oh, nice white tuxedo. Thank you very much. Look at that message effect. I didn't even know that was a thing. Why do you get out against a 900 elo for your first game? Unfortunately, and this is one of the most common complaints about the ranked system, you're probably going to have to lose a couple of games when you start to get down to your real skill level, because you start at 1,000 elo. And you will change elo more during your first 10 games or so than you do later on. But unfortunately, there's no placement system to determine where you should start at. Yeah, and you'll get someone 900 for the first game, because 1000 is the starting elo. It's definitely a system that can be improved. 2 things. So, stone mine there for Goku. TCing a stone rather than gold, which indicates he wants a castle. And castles up here, yes, they are on the hill, but again, on the cracked terrain, so a bit weaker. Love the tuxedo, thank you. And it will be Mangadai now. I need a top hat. That's a good idea. Well, we'll have to go, like, maybe for the Royal Albert Hall, we can go full tailcoat, white tie. Integral sign, hello. I think the elo placement is the biggest problem with AoE 2, worse than Pathing or Fire Lancers. I think it's the second worst problem behind the redone campaign voice acting. That new voice acting just, it saddens me to hear someone reading lines instead of acting them. Arabia Desync? I had a call with someone about Arabia Desync the other day. Don't get me started on that. I learned some things. This is TTL, yes. So we have the Mangadai coming around, and as I said, exposed TC, but Goku has a good bit of stone. I wouldn't put farms out now that I see the Mangadai, but Goku maybe thinks he's safe with all the vills out there in the TC. Maybe we could get a castle up here, but it's going to be a workshop to push the TC. And the way Blue, no way, as I said, the way Blue wants to push this is by getting the Mangonel on higher elevation than the TC, and then also getting the cracked effect. So if we zoom in, you can see the cracks in the earth here. That's an extra 20% damage, and if you're uphill, it's an extra 25% damage. So those multiply together. So the damage the Mangonel normally does, multiply by 1.25 for the uphill bonus, and then multiply by another 1.2 against the TC for the cracked terrain bonus. And that TC will be very fragile. On the southwest is a bunch of hunt. We'll have outposts there from Goku, and it's kind of like a game of Black Forest where players lure in the hunt at the start. And that's why we have the Mongols picked for this map, because of how good they are with their hunt bonus. And Mangonel hitting the TC. How much damage is it doing? Let's see. 1474 to 1364, so that's 110. Yeah, looks like 110 damage. We got a whole bunch of viewers all suddenly. Horrible situation to be in for that TC. That's the worst situation you can be. Mangonel's with a hill bonus and a cracked terrain bonus. Mangadai don't want to sit under the castle too long, though. That castle will hit the TC and the Stonevilles over here. Now T90 ended. That's where everyone came from. Thank you, Trail Time, for the follow. Mangonel is trying to take down the TC. And TC close to going down. Making his redemption rather than uphill siege. Redemption for Goku. So the Bengalis have great monks, but he also needs sanctity, and he will be downhill. And siege against the Mangadai is extra tricky. The Mangadai do have an attack bonus against Mangonels, and the Mangadai, in addition, will be uphill. Yeah, raid without a raid. So sanctity, redemption on the way for Goku, who wants to use the monks to defend. Has to repair the TC now. And the Mangadai should probably be able to snipe off that Mangonel. They'll tank a shot, one goes down, but that Mangonel killed by the Mangadai. Meanwhile, in the south now... Yeah, so that's the thing. Capture Age sometimes eats all your VRAM and crashes your PC, even though I have the VRAM slider set as far down as I can. So we're just going to restart everything. And welcome back, everyone. So press F in the chat to pay respects to the dead stream. And we'll need to pass forward through the wreck to get caught up again. Yep, the good old Capture Age memory leak strikes again. I have to restart Capture Age between every single game to try to minimize this. Hasn't happened to me for a while, but there it just did happen again. So we had Blue and Goku on the scoreboard. This is Silver, and this is a play all three. Let's get the maps back up. There we are. Sure, yep, that's right. And let's see, F. Oh, I need to type in YouTube too. Capture Age. Crashed my PC. But we're back now. There you go, let's... Twitch. Also, I have YouTube. And YouTube looks like we're back too. Alright, we're good. So, time to start from the beginning again. Time to cast Rex from the start. We'll get back to where we were. And hope that that doesn't happen again. And you guys will have to tell me that there's game sound, because my headphones also aren't working now. But, oh yeah, there's also going to be a Twitch ad because I restarted the stream, so apologies for that. I will just warp speed through this and see if we can get... There were mangonels on the hill, right? Does anyone remember what time we were at? That'd be good to know. Can you guys also... Can you hear the game? If I go here, can you guys hear the game? Do you get game sounds? Let me make sure you guys get game sounds. OBS makes it look like you do. Yeah, I remember. We're fast-forwarding back to real time. Yes? Okay, good. So, yeah, once again, Zimbabwe, Mongol lore. I wonder what the YouTube VOD's gonna look like. Why he had trouble restarting YouTube after crashes? I don't know. I don't know what his OBS setup is. I just had to restart my PC, reinstall my Bluetooth drivers, and then we're back into the game. Yeah, Castle in the North was up. Yeah, I also have this issue that ever since I upgraded to Windows 11, and when I say upgraded, I should use the word updated, because it's not really an upgrade. I have to reinstall my Bluetooth drivers every time I restart my PC. I don't know. So, my headphones right now are not working. We're gonna go no sound, and I'm just gonna hope that you guys hear everything. So, yep, every time I have my icon on my desktop, I double click it every time I start my PC. I did that, and after I just did that, my headphones didn't turn on. So, or didn't connect. We're gonna roll with it. It's just Microsoft things, right? Microsoft things, they can't make a game that zooms in and out, so we have to use this extra application that eats your RAM. I will show everyone. I think we were around here. Mink and I were around here somewhere. Just to show it off, I have my VRAM slider set all the way to the left. And yet, Capture Age, I'm gonna show you how much GPU memory Capture Age is eating right now. Let's show this on the display capture. Can you do display capture? I'll show you. This is... See, that's memory. Where's my GPU? Where are we at? So 11 out of 16 right now while the game is paused. When this is 1,536 MB. There's something here that doesn't match up. There's just something that doesn't match up. Anyway, we are back to the game. The mangonels and the mangonite are at the top. The redemption sanctity is in. It is a very hungry bear indeed. So let's see, we had some viewers back anyway. I'm just glad this didn't happen during the front page stream. That would have been a disaster. Part of me thinks I should just cast in-game and not use Capture Age. For the most part, it does the stuff you need if you use a custom UI. Mangonel goes down, and now the TC facing the full... hear me now? Can you hear me now? My opponent will die. Yes. Okay. PC is dying. Makes no sense. Jump scare sound test. Okay, we gotta figure this out. What is happening? Yeah, it is very quiet. That makes absolutely no sense. Oh, wait. Now can you hear me? Now we should be fine. Thank you, Windows 11. Windows 11 has been nothing but a headache for me. Hopefully that's okay. And maybe I just need to swap to Linux. I've heard people got captured to run on Linux. So, Imperial Age on the way for Goku. And double castle. Double castle. So this is where Goku, he is up, and he really needs to get Trebs and win the Treb War before uphill Trebs come out. But here are the Rams. The Rams have a hill advantage. This is looking pretty good for Blue if we can keep the Rams alive. Is there murder holes in for Goku? No, there's not. This is maybe problematic because the castles can shoot the Rams still. But the Rams here, they are uphill, and these castles are in cracked terrain. Look at how much damage they're taking. And the castle needs to defend the Rams from the Rathas. So tanky. They're so tanky, but one castle down already. All the Vills attacking the Ram. The Ram might take some damage, but those Vills are dying to that castle fire. Mangadai even trying to get into Murderhole's range to get in on the action. Pick off some Vills. And, well, a couple more Rams ought to do it. There's the first Treb, though, but the Mangadai are there to start getting arrows on the Treb. Ooh, that's not where you want to deploy the Treb if you don't have murder holes. But Goku, you gotta move the Treb away from the Mangadai. Oh, no. Oh, you can't get it to work again? You're stuck with Windows, then. Ram's going for the castle. And if this castle goes down, it's probably GG. But Imp is on the way for Blue. And this Treb will die to the Mangadai. Where Vill's going down. And Vill is trying to fight the Ram again, but again, they're under castle fire. So I think Blue is happy to trade Rams for some Vills. Flip the sound thingy. I know what happened wise. It's because for some reason the loopback from the audio interface stopped working from Reaper to OBS, and the sound thingy I just swapped OBS to directly taking the mic and using filters in OBS instead of through Reaper. Windows 11 audio issues continue. So we have the stone shaft mining upgrade on the way then. Oh, both shafts from Blue. Blue taking both shafts.
Hey.
Some zebras go down, and the Mangadai run around and hit some Vills on the straggler tree, on the far tree. And then ballistics coming out from Goku as 3 Mangonels work on the gate and try to break in for Blue. Down in the south, Blue's also found a clandestine mining camp, also has a TC over in the western corner, and is working to get through the gate. And Pit287, thank you for the follow. You're looking nice today. Thank you, Jamalist. What do Bengalis even do here? I think they die. They die. I think Goku hopes that no way over here that Blue mangonels his Rams, but he has very wisely decided to attack a part of the gate that the Rams are not in front of. And these skirms trying to fend off the Mangadai, but that might just be skirms lining up for a good Mangonel hit, as Onager now is on the way for Blue. Onager in a 1v1, that feels pretty good. One scout from Goku trying to disrupt Blue from doing a TC in the west, but Blue will get that up. As the outpost and the Hurtville go... Did I say the west? This is the east. Over in the east for Goku. Goku gets his TC over in the west.
Hey.
It's like that time I accidentally said
Hey,
Caspian Sea when I meant Adriatic Sea. I misread my script. That was painful.
Hoy.
And drill! Let's go drill onagers. Of drill onagers. From the Mongols. And speedy onagers for hits on skirms. He's gonna big hit on the skirms. Elephant archer. If the Bengalis get full elephant archers, that's great, but then the Mongols have siege onager. Okay, drill still 25 seconds away. But drill hype. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see drill in action. Onager shot on the Vills. Boom! Onager is so much better than Mangonels at killing villagers. Vills on that wood line going down. Trebbing the monastery. 3 relics inside the monastery. And Ferrari is in. Oh, yes! Split, but not in time. The Onager shot hits. We got a decent shot from drill. Decent shot from drill. 0.9 speed. The skirms move at 0.96. There we go. Thank you, Goku, for giving us a juicy Onager shot. Now the Onagers are just like, well, let's take these trees out of the way so we don't accidentally right-click something and friendly fire our own Mangadai. Yeah, death to the wood line as the relics pop out. Here come more skirms. Do you want a Mangonel shot? Meanwhile, castle to the south as Goku's trying to get some trebs out. His eco still is untouched in the west, but very touched in the front in the northeast of his base. He's trying to treb the market from Blue, but Blue can just rebuild that whenever he wants. Doesn't really have any armor for raiding Blue, even if he gets, or any army for raiding Blue, even if he gets into the base. Yeah, look at him go. Oh, you think this is walled off? No, it's not. Oh, okay, still one more shot. No, it's not walled off. In come the Mangadai. And at least there's a TC behind this, but onagers can eat the TC too. The skirms trying to come over for another onager shot. Onagers clearing some of the forest. A couple of monks want to come over for conversions on the onagers. Onagers going for the TC. So we'll have ring archer armor on the way for Goku. And monks want conversions on the onagers. Also, let me know that now that I swapped the microphone over, if you do hear the heat in the background. I hope you don't. Just in case you might. Should be the same noise filter and everything. The Treb going for the TC. No? Alright, good. The heat in my apartment because there are 2 feet of snow outside. It's keeping me warm. And that TC will go down. Looking over here, Mangadai now cleaning up the Trebs at the front of Blue's base. But we really want to see the onager shot on the skirms. Let's go, Ferrari. Oh, Redemption Monk's trying to convert one of those Ferrari onagers. How much snow did I get? About 2 feet. I didn't actually check the weather for that. That was just my estimate based on how much I shoveled. I'm calling it 2 feet. Oh, Nighthawk. Okay, skirms, onagers. Big onager shot on the skirm spread formation, but they get close again, and the onager shot lands. Now they'll try to run away from the monks. Here come the Mangadai, and no conversions. And we have one nice shot on the skirms. Onagers zooming forward, trying to get the monks. They'll take out the monks, and now nothing to stop them from splattering the skirms again. The skirms have to run. And Goku trying to get back to his base, can't do anything against that Treb. All of his forward has been cleaned up. Vills want to go, does he buy stone for a castle drop? Well, Mangadai could stop that. Oh, he's just going for stone, but there's a TC there already for Blue, as the onagers and the Trebs are destroying the eco to the west. The Mangadai come forward, TC going down. And Blue, oh, Blue has devotion. Blue is very devoted. Never has devotion been so good for onager shots. And the Mangadai pick off Vills of the onagers, take out the TC. And okay, there are the skirms. Oh, Blue sees them. Blue is the outposts to track the skirms. Oh, we restored the stream just so we could see this. Just so we could see the skirms get splattered. Oh, the skirms take out one onager. The micro from Goku trying to split and dodge. Some skirms, 2 shots landing. One onager left. Oh, look at the split formations. The onager, not fast enough, but it gets one more shot off. Goku microing there. So what do you think the onagers have killed more, skirmishers or trees? I'm gonna go for skirmishers. And we now have, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castles, all up for blue. Hello, Humble Jelly. Oh, that's thanks to that gift icon you got there, helping us reach our sub goals. Definitely trees. Maybe trees. Maybe trees.
Hi.
And castle now coming up for blue siege onager. Let's go drill siege onager. Does he have any? See, there's one there. Have to be more. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Are there any skirms down here?
Oh,
Couple
yeah.
bills and an outpost. Castle built into the wall is so pretty. Yeah, old school arena style. Building the castle as part of your wall. Who's ready for the Royal Albert Hall? Are you supposed to dress formally when you go there? Are you? I mean, I could bring the tux for that. Is April a bit too early in the year though for a white tux? Maybe it is. So Elite Mangadai and Siege Onager on the way. It's royal. I need my crown.
Kunwaga.
Oh, here we are. Yes, yes. Finally, the Onager shot. Goodbye, Skirms. There's the GG from Goku. The only thing he didn't do is wait for Siege Onager to come in before gifting us with this beautiful pile of skirmisher corpses. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this. Hold on, hold on. I gotta... Let me just do some managing of the overlay here. I gotta take a good look at this. No, clear everything off the window. Beautiful. I'll just stare at that for a moment. Oh, look, the Mangadai are there too. That's nice. Maybe I should make this the screenshot for TTL for my YouTube streams from here on out. That was beautiful. Why ancient burial grounds are piles of rocks? Because of the siege onagers? Alright, so let's see. Can I get this back? Yes, I can. Let's get our overlay back. Alright, so we have 173 to 60 KD for blue. And 8k more res collected for blue as well. For the Mongols, we got our juicy Onager shot in the end. The king would forget to cancel the attack round. That's John Slow forgetting to cancel the attack round and losing his king. Ooh. Alright. Now that we're done with that, I also need to reopen Chrome. Actually, maybe I should just not have a web browser open while I'm streaming. Maybe that stresses. Oh, T90's playing Arabia right now. Part of me wants to go cast T90 versus Nikov, but we'll keep casting these recs. I need to download the next rec from this set, so give me a moment here. I'm wondering if having more Chromium applications open will just eat into my VRAM more and break capture age. Alright, anyway, we have a scoreboard we can update and another rec I have to download. So blue going up 1-0. He will be winning Zimbabwe. And as far as civs go, that is the Mongols winning over the Bengalis. Game number 2 will then be Coast Arena. So let me go find this and download it. Tournaments, TTL Silver, Goku Blue, and grab game 2. And someone in the chat said this was a good game earlier, so let's hope for it. And they've finished with their set, so I'll just download all 3 games while I'm here. I need to practice my touch typing again, because I feel that sometimes I need to dodge my microphone so I can see my keyboard. Clipped. Thank you, thank you. I'll have to feature that clip after the stream. T90 play. If T90 is not still live when we're done, I'll grab his recs and then we'll cast his recent games. So game number 2 will be on Coast Arena. And here we are, we'll put Goku in the red. So Goku will be to the north as the Red Armenians. This is his home map. Blue, who gave us a wonderful onager shot last game, will be to the south as the Cyan Wu. So Blue Wu, named No Way. So his in-game name right now is No Way, because of how strong the Way Civ is. I own a Cobra car. Oh yeah, that's the Lego Cobra car behind me. I've been waiting all my life for AoE 2 Legos, and then they finally release a Cobra car, which is the closest we're ever gonna get. They did also release the Enterprise D as a Lego set this year. I was tempted to do it, but it's absolutely huge, and I don't know if I have room for it. So Goku will be luring the boar, and this map was originally by the Mad Catter, and you'll probably recognize him. He's made a ton of maps over the years. Recently made Inundation, that map that was used in Warlords last year. I think a lot of people really liked that map, and this one has a similar tropical theming to it, with some mixed palm and jungle trees, the desert extending to the edge. That shot truly was satisfying. I know there have been tons of ideas, right, on the LEGO Ideas site for AoE 2 over the years. None of them's ever really gotten traction. So, as I was saying, this was one of the Mad Catter's maps, and he made circle walls, and it was absolutely beautiful. He has a YouTube video that's like 40 minutes long where he explains all the hacks he did to get it working. But then when we were deciding to use the map for TTL, because it is an amazing map, I looked at it and I thought, you know what? Sometimes players have different numbers of gates. Sometimes one player has 2 gates, and sometimes one player has 1 gate. And so I came up with something even hackier to get diagonal gates working. So everyone always has 3 gates now. And I think this map is amazing. Need to debug. Apparently there's a rare case where a stone is missing, but other than that, it seemed good so far. We have the option to sail around the outside. So far, we've seen players docking the back and going galleys to go forward for a water approach. We've seen players deleting one segment of wall and walking around for a forward dock. We've seen players doing a transport ship from home, transporting and trying to do an archery range. That didn't work out. I don't think we'll see that again, but we saw it. And then we also just saw standard arena clown play a couple of times. We've seen Spanish go for conquistadors, Armenians go for fortified churches, Italians go for fast amp treb wars. Lots of different things. And what is this? Blue luring the boar with the scout. This is something you only do if you're planning on going monks, because then you can heal up your scout. Otherwise, losing scout HP for luring a boar, it's a huge disadvantage for a very slight optimization to the eco. They spawned on the left side in the middle? Oh, yeah, that's true. It's only neutral stone, so that's not too big of an issue, but I guess the golds spawned on the right kind of block the stone. We would need to interleave gold and stone spawning a bit. I'm sure there are tons of more things I could do for the map, but it's already the most complex one. So it's not like this is unfair, right? You could always scout that and just castle over here. Not a lot of fish yet. Not a lot of fish. We didn't want it to be a full water map. We wanted the focus to be a bit on the middle. And yeah, there's the second boar lore from Blue. Taken by the Vils. Deep water is empty. Exactly. We're thinking maybe there's something we should put out here, like a bit of scenery to fill it. I already have the rocks elsewhere, so I wasn't exactly sure what to do out there. Maybe someday I'll be struck by inspiration. It's possible to build on the inner water outer ground. This is shallows, so no. This is normal terrain, so yes. And it's a normal 1 layer of beach between the two. Lego is the only way to build the viewer TC from behind. Does Goku have a hole in the top seawall? You mean here? He does. The seawalls are only on the shallows, though. They are not on the water. Actually, now that you mentioned that, man, maybe I should just have them on the water. Maybe neutral docks in the corners that you can trade with. Out to sea. Tiny islands with some hunt. I was thinking about putting islands with relics, because I didn't want to make something useful out there, and I figure if I put relics, no one will ever have the APM to go out there and grab them. Low atomic. Bow ties are cool. They are cool. And fun to tie. And, well, the hole in Goku's wall won't matter, as he just deletes all of it anyway. Viperwood? Viperwood dock out there and do fish traps. Cannon bores? What the heck are cannon bores? Oh, you know what I should do? I should just place islands out there so that T90 can build archery ranges. That's what we need. We need archery range islands. Oh my gosh, that's it, that's it. Neutral archery ranges on the islands, 3 in each corner. There we go. That's it. That's it. Oh, I knew we'd get an idea eventually. I knew we'd get an idea eventually. That's exactly what we need. Oh, that's perfect.
Where?
It's perfect. Anyway, feudal on the way for both players, and then we have 2 docks from Goku. What we don't see is anyone trying to go forward on the outside. So far, it's been rather peaceful. Plus 7k. Let's hope capture rate doesn't crash again. And, ooh, house on the outside, though. Maybe Goku wants to walk around. And... how do I say this? Uneptite tomate. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. You have wolf spawners? I mean, not on the water. Feudal age there for blue. And a dock coming up for blue as well. Second dock. And dock on the outside for Goku is going galleys. So Goku will go for the galley approach and try to harass the fishing ships in the back. Tuned in to the Tuxedo stream? Yes, you did, dadgum. Yes, you did. The galley sailing around to the back. Is 1 small tomato. Ah, there we go. Una petite tomato. Tomate. There we go. Just need to figure out how to say... oh, there we go! The scout! The scout! What did I say about lowering those boars, losing the HP? You then lose your scout to the scout fight. And Blue, doing the market in the blacksmith, lost his scout. Didn't have the HP for it, and now won't have any vision of the middle. Goku can come forward for fortified churches, and Blue will have no idea. Goku could go around the side for fortified churches, and Blue will have no idea. And now the galleys from Goku getting in on the fish on the water. Fishing ships going down. Fishing ships going down, and maybe Dockville's even going down. Do we have any defensive ships? 1 fire galley from Blue, but the galleys are there and even pushing Vills off of the berries. Berries vulnerable to being hit by the coast, usually on this map. Now we have to wonder how much does Blue know about the middle? Yeah, right, because now Blue, let's check Blue's scouting, as he'll be losing the fishing ships. Has mostly scouted the middle. Don't know if he's completely aware about the lack of stone on the right. Might not be fully aware of that. Is he gonna go for a castle drop? Well, he is pretty heavily on stone. Fortified churches from Goku coming forward could be nice. Blue may indeed want to come forward, though, and do a castle drop. But if you see a castle drop coming, can you throw up a fortified church and then shoot down the villagers in time? Because fortified churches build ridiculously fast. Maybe the problem is Goku's still in the feudal age, though, and is 2 minutes away from castle. And still disrupting all of Blue's fish. So there we go, 700 stone. And the unique unit for the Wu is the fire archer. It will be another castle right in the walls. Castle at home. And siege tower is not banned, but we nerfed them. We did see a siege tower used to hop walls on this map once before. We give it half the garrison capacity, which has the effect of decreasing the max speed. So its max speed is that of a longsword rather than that of a knight, basically. So it's much slower, and it has less HP, so it dies more quickly. And also fewer units inside at a time, so you can't hop in and out with lancers as well as you could with fewer lancers. How much is half the capacity? 5. Goes down from 10 to 5. This is indeed. Spells his name with a V instead of a U, but it's pronounced Blue. everything I've learned. And then Fire Archer trying to get away from the castle and leaving a bit of a bird on the ground. And a monastery up for Blue. Blue coming forward. That wonderful AoE 1 artifact in the monastery foundation. And Fire Archers will be heading forward. Bow in left hand, quiver on the left or on the right hip. Fire Archers have, well, 9 range, I guess? They need clutching and bodkin still. They have different ranges against buildings than they do against units. But they have extra damage against buildings. It's kind of like old obsidian arrows, but tied to a unit. And probably not quite as strong. They have extra bonus damage against buildings. And they'll start taking out the gate. They do a bit of fire damage over time, too. Meanwhile, on the outside, though, the ships from Goku have completely won the water. And will start destroying Blue's docks. Blue has no more fish access and no more berry access. And also no access to the oysters at the back of his base, which do have a good bit of gold in them, 450 each. And you have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's taking some of that gold, but we'll have to rely on the gold at the front and in the middle now. And he will mill the berries. He's milling the berries in the middle. Don't see that often, but okay, let's go mill the berries. Fire Archer is so strong. Fully upgraded, they have more range versus units too than Arbalest or Skirms, a fact the pro community seems to be sleeping on. I've seen a lot of pros tell me that they try to use this unit and it feels useless. It's not getting through the gate yet. And might die to a mangonel. Die to a mangonel. I have to run. Ram comes forward. We'll have Fletching on the way. Fire Archers just lack the damage output against units. Just contain so many busted things they've not gone into Fire Archers. Why no Ram? Well, the Mangonel's one reason why he doesn't have a Ram. He will go for it, but immediately I think we see why. Ram, not the best option usually. Does help push through the gate, but you need something to deal with the Mangonel. And now lots of vills here from Goku. Needs to lock the gate. Goku, you need to lock the gate. The Ram, is it going to go in? It's going to hold the gate open. That Mangonel could get a nice hit if it goes for the archers. But no, the Ram will lodge that gate open. And the Mangonel wants to hit the Fire Archers. They do only have 35 HP, so they won't take a Mangonel shot all that well. A couple of them go down. But they don't have the damage output to destroy the Mangonel. And they're going to get right back out? Nope, they're going to dance with the Mangonel for a bit. And he wants to kill some vills here. You have to go for the repair vills rather than the Mangonel. That fire accumulating on the ground is so weird. But they buy time for the gate to go down. They buy time for the gate to go down. Ram going straight through. And it will go down, not repaired in time. And it will just be another gate right away from Goku. As Goku on the water still taking the docks to the side. He is fishing. Lots of fishing ships. Maybe needs a couple more docks, but taking advantage of all the fish in the sea. And the Fire Archer still pushing in on the gate vills. Another Mangonel shot hits the vills. So the vill count is still pretty similar, but Goku's up by 15 fishing ships. Ram doing its job, thinking outside the box. Well, it did its job for the most part. And now Goku has to face the reality that there isn't much gold in the back of the map. You have 4 oysters, but that's a total of 1,800 gold. Your main gold is forward, but that's going to be castle dropped. So Goku has the outside, he has the fish, but he doesn't have gold access. One thing he could do, though, is start taking the oysters at the back of Blue's base. And with the water control, I don't think Blue could really stop that. Goku will do his own castle, and Goku going for some gold in the middle, but Goku will be taking the side that doesn't have any stone. He'll take the side that doesn't have stone. Mangonel goes down. Archers hit, losing HP. Another Mangonel cleared. Some vills going down. Mangonel goes for the other Mangonel. Goes for the archers. Gets a nice hit on the Fire Archers. Trying to get some revenge from that Siege Onager shot from the last game. That's 5 dead Fire Archers. have to combo them with the hero. That is interesting. And Imp on the way for Goku. So Goku needs to get this castle up, though, if he wants Trebs. It is imperative that he constructs this castle. So trades the Mangonels, but loses the Mangonel. And right now, not looking so good for him in terms of this land pressure. He's up to the Imperial Age. Looks like it was Blue who was the host of the game when I downloaded the rec. And he's up to the Imperial Age, and he is walling. Trying to wall Goku out from his castle. And so he'll garrison the castle and start shooting the fire archers who have to run away. Imp into what? Imp into Mangonel defense. That wall does... Oh, the gate does have a good bit of HP on it. He needs more Mangonels. He needs to delete this wall maybe and just go for it from this side. Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. Only 4 Vills though. Needs to do the good old Vills inside of the siege tower. And the Mangonel will get a shot on the Vills. Doesn't kill any Yap. They are pretty low on HP, and the castle's only at 52%. The fire archers will come forward. And this is all up to the Mangonel micro now from Goku. Doesn't have enough stone for anything else. And there is a castle from Blue, another forward castle. The Mangonels need to get some shots off here on the fire archers. And then they need to try to deny that castle while Goku builds his own. Goku's got 40... He might need to send all of his Vills right now just to build this castle. Mangonels trying to get shots on the Vills, but the Vills rush the Mangonels. Goku's still trying to build his castle. And he will get another shot on the fire archers, trying to flatten them. Fire archers going down, but the castle's up for Blue. And the Vills for Blue are going down to the Mangonels. Mangonels being repaired. And the fortified church now shooting at the house as the castle is deleted for Goku, but deleted, and he doesn't have much... Oh, was that destroyed or deleted? He didn't get much stone back, but I guess it was more than 50% done. So he has to buy stone for another castle. Yeah, it is a good day for Mangonel fans. Is this too forward of a castle? Deleted? Okay, it looked like it was deleted. That'd be a nice thing to be able to tell in Capture Age. Maybe get a resources recovered from deleted castle. Or maybe an indication your stone suddenly shot up. Or maybe like a different destruction animation that could be done in game for deletes versus destroyed buildings. And the Mangonel goes down. Goku was in such a nice position. If he just had done his first castle more defensively for the Trebs, really wanted that outside gold, but the Mangonel micro has now failed him. And Blue, enough fire archers to damage the foundation now. Goku still 47 Vills, or 32 Vills, 15 fishing ships. Got 14 Vills queued in 1 TC. 3 castles securing the map in the middle for Blue. Blue still 1 TC, and Goku still has the water control. How is he gonna finish the castle, though? Oh, the Vills, 2 Mangonels, the Vills can't find a spot to build. Castle at 41%. This castle maybe needed to be in the back more. The second castle's not gonna finish either. Oh, Goku. Goku, poor Goku. Mangonel shots. Trying to connect again. It's just an effect, it doesn't do damage? Yeah, I think so. No transports, you have water? Well, he has the water. Where's he going to transport to? He doesn't have any army to transport to the back. Okay, those fire archers still maybe getting in range of a Mangonel. And it looks like the Mangonels now are going to be enough defense for Goku. As this this castle will go up, the fire archer is not able to stop all the Vills. The entire village being sent to raise the castle from Goku. And he still will have the score lead for when the castle goes up. Now we hit the sub goal for the Tuxedo stream. Corner for a bug. Mangonel hitting the fire archers running away. Now the Mangonel from Blue comes forward. And Imp on the way. Imp on the way for no way. The castle's there, and now the Trebs are going to start popping out. Trebs will start popping. The fire archers try to destroy the castle. parallel fires at the front of the castle. That's cute. Zero on food. Sometimes 0 on food's all you need. He's got 1 unoccupied farm. B-Tech, you mean Red Cliff Tactics? No, he did not. No, Red Cliffy, he did not research Red Cliff Tactics for extra fire archer damage to buildings. Fortunately, no. Oh, Santa's ASMR. Will the castle go down to fire archers? Remember, they have extra range against buildings, so they'll be outside the firing range of the castle. Bracer can come in. Chemistry can come in. They're trying to destroy the castle to the east. The castle is going down pretty quickly. Pretty darn quickly. And Bracer's on the way. I think you're right. He does need Red Cliff Tactics, though. I don't know how much that helps, but it does help. Skirms coming forward to Goku. Archers taking down castles. These are what we did with longbows back in the day, right? Feudal skirms, that's not going to hold up with the fire archers, and here come the traction trips. Traction trips. And this is looking worse and worse for Goku. Selling food, buying stone. Treb's going for the castle. And Calvert, thank you for the follow. By the Tuxedo, because we hit the sub goal. We had 200 subs for a Tuxedo stream. And there we go, blue, 2-1. As Goku cannot hold that castle, he will call the GG. And in a game that started out very promising, here we have someone winning the water with 18 fishing ships, and yet it wasn't enough to take the game. The main gold forward, the oysters in the back. You have 1,800 gold in the back, but it didn't last long enough for Goku, who will tap out after losing that castle. Crazy Coast Arena game. This has definitely been my favorite map so far. I'm excited to see this played in Platinum at a higher level, too. That's a 49 to 36 KD for Goku. Couldn't deal with the Mangonel and Ram pressure, though. And GG. I take the suit to Red Bull? Am I supposed to wear a suit to the Royal Albert Hall? Is that going to be a thing? Okay, can we, like, make that a thing? People get dressed up for the finals? So, Goku losing Coast Arena. And that was... Oh, what civ was he even? It was Armenians, right? The churches. Armenians against the Wu. And Blue's first civ pick is the Way. What civ do you think Blue's gonna be picking? You just give your guesses on what civ he's gonna be picking. Right, so just to keep the ads off during the games, I'm gonna play an ad between the games. There's no dress code, only what the event requires. So can we make a recommendation that people get dressed up for it? Oh, and YouTube finally updated my my chat. Didn't show my chat for a while. Thank you, Bree, over in the YouTube chat. Thank you. There's no dress code, that means you can wear a suit. Some people will wear suits. Some people will wear suits of armor. So, game 3 on slopes. Watch for another hour, then you crash. Well, I'm sorry if Capture Age crashes you IRL. So, game number 3 on slopes, and no Way will play as the Way. Blue here will be the Cyan Way to the northwest, and Goku the Red Vietnamese to the southeast. I've seen the Vietnamese quite a lot on this map. As I said, the knowing where your opponent's TC bonus doesn't really help you when it's the same spot every time. I did enjoy the madness on Coast Arena, yes. Probably not fun for the participants wearing it, though. Hey, my Teutonic Knight helmet is uncomfortable enough by itself. I can't imagine a real helmet. Although a real helmet would probably be fitted to someone if they were rich. Bowcasters and Tux in full plate harness. So Goose running around on the outside to scout. So slopes again we have on either side. We have these pools of shorefish and hares and one ibex. We edited the map to add the hares here as a replacement so that players only have one ibex per pond to push, and they don't spend the entire Dark Age pushing in 8 ibex, 4 from each pond. No way going away is unethical. The shoe debacle. What was the shoe debacle in the first event in Heidelberg? I know when we did the previous Noble Apartment Cup, we had to wear slippers instead of shoes. I guess that's a German thing, wearing slippers inside. Maybe a European thing. Most Americans don't have house shoes like that, usually. And one hit on the scout. Taken by Goku. Am I going to a wedding? Nope, we're just doing a sub goal. I don't think you'd wear a white tux to a wedding though. I think you gotta go for another color. Choose your wear outside inside is blasphemy? Just vacuum the floor. Very first event, they were forced to very incredibly uncomfortable shoes. They had flat soles made of steel or something. That does sound very uncomfortable. Walk around barefoot inside. And Boar, there we go, taken down by the TC. So early barracks from Goku, but before the mill, but not before the lumber camp. We have seen some pre-lumber camp drushes in TTL so far. Mostly by the Inca though, although I suppose the Vietnamese could make an argument for pulling it off if they can take the stragglers. Maybe not on slopes though, but on some other map where you know exactly where the TC is that you want to drush. So Blue trying to disrupt the Ibex push. Don't know how successful that will be. He tries to get a hit from the hill though. Just wants to get as much HP off that scout as possible. Lumbercampville might need to come over and help out. As Goku's pushing the Ibex away, and we'll have to start taking a sheep instead of the Ibex. Lots of idle time under the TC from the Vills bunching up from the boar to the sheep. Ooh, not the best queue management or sheep management from Goku. That's a bit awkward. A bag of felt slippers for any guest to wear after they take their shoes off, really. So then loom for both players at just about the same time. And a couple of idle seconds on the TC for Blue. As he's trying to force drop food. Doesn't have enough food to click up, but then neither does Goku. So maybe not the cleanest Dark Ages from both players. There we go. Blue managing to click up after 6 more seconds of idle time. And Goku will work to add another Vil. And Lumbercamp coming up for way. Or for no way. For the way for player Blue. I really should have changed his name to Blue in both places, but he's just leaving it there. Oh, it's wonderful. We have like 400 people watching from between Twitch and YouTube. One day I'm going to get the YouTube count integrated in the viewer count. If every unit ate 1 food per year, and if you run out of food, they lose HP instead until they all die. I played a RTS years ago that was like that. It's called American Conquest. It is like American Revolution time period themed. You had to gather food constantly to feed your population, or else they'd randomly start dying. Go into a famine mode. And hello, Potato. How you doing? Very stylish. Thank you. Thank you. So there are villagers on the way, or no way. And low HP Scout from Goku still hovering about a bit. Same thing for Blue, low HP Scout wandering around Goku's base. And it will be an archery range opening. We'll see how quickly a spear comes out, but archery range opening for both players. And we'll see if it's archers or just pure skirms. Scout Cav will find the goose and steal it from Blue, bring the goose back. Because the hares are more valuable. But both players out on one pond to the southwest. Either side, we do have gold or stone. Each player has one stone and one gold, and it's random which side it's on. I fixed a bug where the number of golds and stone tiles were not consistent. That's what version 2 of Slopes is. Scout Cav running around in the back, finding the vills on the lumber camp. Chop in the forest. And oh no, don't use the tree as part of a wall. Goku, no, don't do this. Spend the 3 wood on a palisade behind the tree, please. Don't leave a straggler as part of your wall. No. I've seen this backfire far too many times. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, Blue's gonna see that, isn't he? Blue's gonna see that. He still has a scout. Okay, sees the straggler there. Didn't see the wall yet. Oh, that scares me so much. That makes me nervous. That makes me nervous, Goku. Don't use stragglers in your wall. Oh boy. Well, we'll have a spear coming forward from Blue. Yeah, don't use relics either. Don't use relics either. We saw MBL do that against Lewis and it didn't work out. I'll have to go make a video about that. I still want to do that. Quick breakdown video. Using the relic as part of his wall. Just to bait someone to think they're going to be smart and then be ready for it. You could play 4D chess with it. More often than not, though, I've seen it backfire. I've seen it really backfire. The spear is here, chasing the ibex. Oh, he's gonna lame the hares. The poor little hares. Oh, there's another strategy, lame the hunt. You don't remove all the food from it, but it does start decaying. Even the ibex can't escape the laming. Shorefish can't be lamed, but the hunt can be lamed. Maybe an argument for taking the hunt before the shorefish is just to be wary of the laming. And now wheelbarrow here for Goku, and gold mining for Blue as the stable comes up for Blue. And Blue will be all on the wood lines in the back trying to wall up. Still a bit of a hole, but almost walled up. Couple of scouts are running away. And all the vills need to run careful of the skirms. It's only skirms though, and they don't have fletching. So not the most threatening of units, and going up to the castle age now, Blue out of stable and bringing his own skirms forward. And Goku still taking that hunt, left a hole in the wall right next to the tree. Still that straggler on the other side. And with a couple of scouts, Blue actually thinking of engaging the skirms, trying to bring his own skirms over. He doesn't want to use the low HP scout in the fight. Will dare the spearman, though. And we'll have a minute slower click up to the castle age from Goku. So Goku not too far behind, but will be a bit slower. And the spear and the scout pathfinding their way to the skirms. They'll find their way over there eventually. Spear, please. Yeah, that Stark bad koala game was absolutely crazy. And Spear still running away from the skirms as the scout kills some units and will now try to kill the skirms. Hero Spear saving the day. Yeah, for the wrong people. Hello, Huggy. We're chasing the scout away. Scout will dodge some javelins. And as soon as blue gets up, what will we see? Will we see elite skirm and bodkin? Will we see university and ballistics? Will we see a swap to fire lancers as the Vietnamese? Or wait, oh no, he's the white. Sorry, got the civs mixed up for a minute. Same architecture. This is why you need your civs to have new architecture sets. Then your casters don't get confused on which civ is which. Instead, it'll just be a TC. A TC on the way for blue over to the corner. And we'll have some skirms and scouts coming forward. Will the scouts get in? There is still that hole in the wall. The Bills will not win the foot race to plug the hole. Skirm could try to hit the low HP scout. And they will get in. And one of the scouts goes down right away. And a spear comes to chase. Bills might need to re-wall. Yep, there we go. Skirm is forward, and Goku is up as well. Only one extra TC for blue. Not going for 2 TCs right away. And, oh, look, finally, walling behind the straggler using a gate. Let's go. Goku not leaving the straggler in the wall. Vil, near the scouts, getting killed almost. Has to go retire to a farm that's adjacent to the TC. Weak Vil near the lumber camp, but he'll run away. And over to the corner is Goku. No army here from blue to threaten those Vils. So he can do a TC out there if he would like. TC on the gold side, same as being done by blue. House going up for Goku. Scout and Vil go down. And wait, and this scout from blue will keep wandering around. I'm realizing that as I talk about the player, the score is the primary way I look for their name when I'm about to say their name, and I'm constantly calling blue No Way, or just Way because of his name. Well, is there a way that he breaks in with the Huiguang Cav? Remember, the Way are the Civ with essentially 4 unique units. They have Cao Cao as their hero, then the Xianbei Raider, the Tiger Cav, and the Huiguang Cav. So lots of unique units for them. Yeah, I put Goku in red instead of blue. Having blue playing against someone named blue would be too confusing. What we really need is blue versus Say My Name. Because Say My Name's other name is yellow. Blue versus yellow, if they swap colors, oh, that'd be peak. Do Huiguang Cav count as unique units versus Samurai? Do we have one here to click on? I believe no. They don't count as unique units. No, they do not. They do not have the unique unit armor class. Way are crazy good Civ. I agree, 100%. Feels outrageous there's no admin loss for No Way playing as Way. Blame Arbase. I just do the maps, I don't do the admin losses. Emu, hello Emu, how you doing? I heard Emu's gonna win USA Cup. I've been hearing rumors. So, have archers here for Goku, still running around. We'll see if they... Ooh, actually, blue has some exposed Vils by that mill. He did his 3rd TC in his base by that neutral gold, so the Vils by the mill, taking the shorefish. Might be threatened as the Cav archers run over, and Wheelbarrow comes in from blue. Did you know that Emu has never beaten you in a tournament set, so you're basically 2k3? Sounds true for everyone Emu's never beaten in a tournament set. Lots of 2k3s out there. And archery range for blue. Have archer skirm the composition for a Vietnamese player. No surprise there. The question is, how does that fare against the Way units? And I'm afraid of a Tiger Cav swap at some point. There are 6 Vils on stone. And for now, just more Xianbei Raiders as archery ranges come up in the back for blue. You'll ignore it was when you were both like 1500. One day I'm gonna have to grind some games again. And see where my elo ends up. And that palisade goes down. TC shoots some of the Cav archers, but they are in. Oh, the Vils! The Vils could wall behind this. Oh, blue, wall him in. Some Cav archers on the wood line, but the Shinbei Raiders come over, the Huiguang Cav come over. And what happens in this fight? Does blue kill everything? Loses some vills in the process, but has the vill lead, so perhaps has some to spare already. And the Shinbei Raiders trying to take out the rest of the Cav archers. Cav archer down. Fortunately, Vietnamese has a unit that counters everything, the Fire Lancer. That's true, no Fire Lancers yet from Goku, though. So we'll have the Stone Shaft taken by blue, getting that extra vill. Extra vill for every way eco upgrade, so you do usually want both shafts with them. And then handcart here for Goku. And it'll be his 4th TC. 4th TC, and you're right. Maybe the Fire Lancer is the option? Well, that's what Goku thinks. Goku's thinking that to complement the Cav Archers, he needs some Fire Lancers. Feels like a rough dive in the end. Still being down 12 vills after that, though, feels difficult. But 4th TC, so maybe he can make up for some of that vill difference. His ballistics just now coming in, that will benefit all of those Shinbei Raiders. Vills popping out of the TC as the lumber camp goes up in the back on that wood line.
准备就绪。
And Treadmill Crane and Town Watch both coming in for blue as the outpost goes up right in the middle of these cliffs. And the Vill's out on the farms by the mill. As Goku comes forward with the Cav Archers, looks like blue will try to grab a relic. These Vills are exposed, but he realizes that and he runs them away. And he will go for a forward castle, so castle drop from blue. Hasn't clicked up to Imp yet, and doesn't have any gold in the bank, so it will be a while until Imp comes in. But trying to apply pressure, maybe hoping that Goku doesn't get to the point where Fire Lancers are viable. And right now, only one barracks, more barracks being added in. He hasn't made the swap yet. Still needs a ton of upgrades for them. And that castle drop will apply pressure, as the Huiguang Cav will be able to run through the overchop. Goku never re-walling behind the overchop. And will they get any rating? They only have 1 armor. They can't, or +1 armor. Or 4 total armor. They can't get up to 5. And University Monastery immediately for Goku, who needs buildings to click Imp, I guess. Needs 2 Imp buildings. The University takes a while to build, and yes, indeed, he does need 2 Imp buildings. He could go Imp, do a castle, and try to treb that castle down. And Blue, I'm sure, as he runs in and scouts at the University, will realize that's what Goku's trying to do, and also realize that Goku still needs the Imp buildings. That University just finishing, and Imp has to come in, I believe, in this TC. That one feels a bit too far forward. That is a lot of Shinbei Raiders riding in and killing villagers. Oh no. Check on the CA. What CA? These... The Shinbei Raiders? There are no CA anymore. Did I miss it? 3 Fire Lancers isn't going to do it, that's for sure. And now we're up to a 30+ Vil lead. Soon to be a 40 Vil lead. And this is looking pretty GG. That's Squires and another Archer armor on the way for Goku. And he will make a desperate bid for a castle. Did he click Imp? I don't think he managed to click Imp. Oh, he's floating so much Imp res. And trying to kill the Shinbei Raiders. We have 4 TCs from Blue now. It's really pulling ahead while everything's idled. He died in a line. Okay. And there's Imp. Imp first from Blue. And so that's a 4th TC just going up with some farms by the stone. And Goku still desperately trying for this castle. The way would have to do traction trebs to besiege it, but I'm sure they don't mind doing that. So that's a 37 eco kill, 38 eco kill number for Blue. And Blue will do a castle over to the east. That's not close enough to the TC. Okay, it will be close enough if he goes up and does Bracer. So Imp finally clicked for Goku. That is a very late imp compared to what his eco was set up to do earlier. And also a late Fire Lancer swap. So Shinbei Raiders should be okay against Fire Lancers, less so against the Skirms. And his 43 Deadvilles as the castle now comes up for blue. And the Tiger Cav, the amazingly strong Tiger Cav, will start to slaughter the villagers in this wood line. And Goku's imp not even gonna save him. Ballistics on the way finally at TC, loaded with vills because the rest of the vills who can't garrison are dying, and the vills cowering inside do not want to step outside for fear of encountering the Tiger Cav. And Fire Lancers, but not enough of them over to the west, and now the Tiger Cav will make short work of the skirmishers that were forward for Goku, and it'll be another castle defensively for Blue to control more of the map. That'll be then his third castle in a line across the map, cornering Goku into his starting base. Even a siege tower can't save the day. Tiger Cav too chunky. They're stupidly strong. They are very, very, very strong. Indeed. And there's way advanced to the Imperial Age. And Bracer Heavy Plow. Just looking for the workshops for the traction trebs. And Goku will go imp and try to treb this. But he has half the number of vills that Blue has. That's 129 to 63, less than half. More than double the eco for Blue. What'd he say? That's the in-game message for advancing to the Imperial Age. His Mingguang armor on the way. That'll be +4 melee armor for the Cav units. Or mounted units. +4 melee armor. One small positive is no trebs, but Goku, as soon as he advances to the Imperial Age, will call the GG, and Blue will win that 3-0. So nice first two games, honestly, even though it did get a bit one-sided in the end. That Coast Arena game was great, and I'm excited to see that in Platinum. So that is a 3-0 win for Blue. And how about we do this, since we still have some time? I saw T90 was playing some ranked game. Let's check if he's still playing. And I might cast one or two of those before we hop off, just to make the stream a bit longer. Oh, and John Slow, thank you so much for the raid. You missed a great Coast Arena game. I'll have to have you on to co-cast Coast Arena someday. You did raid when I was just about to click the ad button, so apologies to the ad for the raiders, but we're gonna go cast T90 playing some ranked games, as we saw him on the ranked ladder earlier. Looking sharp, thank you. Open the dashboard. Let's see, T90's not there anymore, but we'll just look at his history. Player T90. Played against Golly, Nikov, and MBL today. And let me just throw these into my rec folder, and we'll do a couple of T90 casts. 3 more games before we head off. Tuxedo stream casting. And I'll remove the Titans League. Just say casting T90. Boom. So MBL, Nikov, and Golly. That mean we did get the 200 subs, yes. So thank you very much, John Slow, for the raid. We're about to cast T90. Unfortunately, he favorites Arabia and not Arena, like a true professional would. But you can only cast games that are played. And Orc War Master, thank you so much for the follow. And we're now at 14,953 followers on Twitch. And last I checked, it was 29,960 subscribers on YouTube. So we're about to hit 15K and 30K on them. Hoping T90 plays Phosphor. That sounds like a good person. Sounds like a good person to hope that. So this is not TTL. Let me remove that, and let me just say that this is the Play All 1 ranked ladder. I do have 3 Rex at T90 playing games, so I thought, you know what? We'll make the stream a bit longer, make sure that we enjoy as much of the Tuxedo stream as we can. And hello, Old Man Willow, what a treat of a matchup. He has friends coming over. He played MBL. This was 4 hours ago. So before he casted, he played MBL on the ladder. But then he played 2 games against Nikov and then against Golly. He said he had friends coming over. Maybe Nikov and Golly are visiting him to play AoE2 IRL. At RW7? What are you asking, Teal? You really want his T90 playing you? T90 Emu. You're here to support more Tux streams? Oh my gosh, Miss Blam. Miss Blam is like the sweetest and nicest person ever. I'm gonna give you a shout out. Go follow Miss Blam. She streams at like 3 a.m. my time. It's the most wonderful I wake up and need a stream type of stream. So is this a show match? This is just T90 played some ranked games on the ladder earlier. Oh, let me make sure. Ranked there. MBL said on his stream, T90 has a 0% chance winning against him. Well, let's see if that holds up. MBL is the Franks, T90 is the Berbers. I do think Franks can struggle against camel archers and Berber camels in general. Remember, the Franks do miss the Imperial Age upgrades, both bracer and ring archer armor that they would need for their skirmishers. T90 lures in a boar, and we'll push in that Mouflon. The Bills will hunt the boar under the TC. So this is DE's Arabia. We do see the very nicely flattened hills in the middle. Huge hills. And a couple of gold mines more towards the center. So where is my army AoE? That is a wonderful name. If you're playing Arena, you're not making army, right? You're just making monks. The monks are your army. So, yeah, Berbers, Franks could see a scouts opening from both of them. Looks like T90 missed a couple of his goats. When you're against MBL, maybe you're thinking MBL lamed. But I think everyone on the ladder probably is a bit more chill about not laming these days. A classy man. Thank you. Okay, people were telling me that now we need to dress up for the Royal Albert Hall at Red Bull, so... Hey, maybe I do have to bring a suit with me. That sounds like a fun idea. Oh, look at T90! Look at the lamer! Not talking about MBL laming. T90 will come forward, see MBL pushing his Mouflons. Mouflons are a reskin of deer. And T90 will try to push that Mouflon all the way across the map back to his own TC. And, well, he's just giving up on it. No, T90, no, don't stop halfway. You could have pushed it to these and then done a double Mouflon push. 6 on food, 3 on wood, and then hope for the best. That's how to play AoE 2. Well, I guess he did accomplish the goal of maybe making MBL think he was laming. And MBL isn't going to try to push in the final Mouflon. He's going to go for another patch that's farther away. You can just push it to the mill, honestly. You can just push it to the mill. Scout running over as the Mouflon has to dodge. Oh, he's going to push this one away, too. What is he doing? What is he doing? He's the Berbers. Why isn't he Vil rushing the lumber camp with the faster moving Vils? My Feudal Age now on the way at the TC. And Feudal Age just about the same time for both. No idle time at all. I think it is exactly the same time for both. 18 Vils, 19 pop with the Scout, and then Loom for the Vils, about as standard gets for AoE 2. And hello, Tundra Blitz. How you doing? How are you doing? Do Mr. T West AoE? That's more letters, though. You can see how Capture Age cuts your name off if you get too long of a name. So it can't be too long. Oh, thank you for the gifty.
To arms!
Where is my army?
The English are making a sneak attack.
The dry cleaning? Yeah, you get the, for 5+, you get the William Wallace quotations. Then 10+ is like here. It's the double bit axe for T90 and MBL, synchronized double bit axes, and synchronized stables, as MBL will find T90's goats. Will he take the goats, or will he give them? Or he could just leave them. Might just leave them. The spear will find them. Spear will find them, and T90 will get the goats in time, won't be lacking for goats. And and farms right after horse collar. So horse collar added for both. These days I have seen players more and more skipping horse collar even for scouts openings. Lets you get the spears out more. 100% didn't just scare you, that alert. You need to play the campaigns more. You need to learn the quotations more. That's the type of thing that soothes me to sleep at night, that voice acting. So a few farms around the TC for MBL, and so far, so good for both of them going scouts T90 with a slight score lead. Must be English to fear the Celts. Jupiter probably has a castle at Falkirk he's worried about. MBL decides not to lame you. MBL doesn't lame like he used to these days. I remember the good old MBL Fiage laming wars. You're a half Celt. Does that mean half Woad Raider? Looking even sharper than usual. Thank you. I gotta go into the game options and put the sharpness slider to 100. Oh, spear for MBL. Now, that wasn't sharp from T90. Taking a poke. Maybe MBL takes a poke too. Ooh, no, he doesn't. Look at that. Look at that dodge. Even the gate from T90, not enough to let MBL, or not enough to lead MBL into the spears. Hasn't named consistently in years. A lot of people lame with Vils these days. Sneaky English making a sneak attack.
Right.
RBL retired poor lord, and Hyperon Omega, thank you for the follow. So scouts versus scouts. T90 wants to use the spear in the fight. Looks like he should be able to fend off MBL. No eco kills yet. Mining camp on the way for T90. Part of me wants to see the mining camp a tile back if he chops the tree, or over here. Now, will be kind of awkward for him. But it's close enough to the goal, it'll be okay. MBL losing a scout. There's the first kill of the game. Lying on the ground as MBL runs around with the scouts, and we'll have to get back towards his TC. Yeah, T90 versus MBL. We even have emotes for it. MBL recently qualified to go to London for Red Bull versus T90. Battle Royale tournament champion. Best friend since 5th grade is English. So spears around for MBL. Well, T90 has to avoid the spears. Ooh, does get away from him. Does get away. Ooh, but turns and had the scouts on aggressive stance. And when they stopped, they turned and ran into the spear. T90 is going to London even without a qualifier. Invited caster. I have to go. I have to fly myself over just to watch. That's why we're doing the Tux, so we have enough subs to pay for the travel and the vacation. The scouts were T90. But MBL applying a lot of pressure, has fletching for the archers, and right now MBL looks to be almost fully walled, at least at the front by the berries he is. Still needs to go around the back or to the edge of the map. T90 right now did wall to the edge aside from one hole, one house-sized hole. He'll be doing scale barding armor and trying to amass more scouts for bloodlines. MBL will pull back. T90 still with scouts in the middle of the map, trying to run around and maybe think of taking a fight with the reinforcements. We'll have extra scouts with upgrades, and once the upgrades come in, then he can fight. But the upgrades will slow down his castle each timing, for sure. And he's not investing into repairs on the stable when the archers aren't there. So does have to be careful and make sure the stable stays up. Spears for MBL, ready to defend, but T90 nicely done to pick off 2 archers. And as Bloodlines finishes, he could turn around and fight the scouts. If MBL was thinking of fighting, he really wants to get back to the spears. What is that pathing? What is that pathing? Stand ground patrol from T90, but he doesn't want to fight with the spear, who does get in 1 poke. Little poke. Has Ornlu been invited? He has not, no. As far as I know, it's just T90, Dave, Memb, and Nilly. So I don't think they have anyone new doing it this year. Trezini is still the only admin. I don't think they've changed anyone on their admin team. Or their casting team. So Castle Age on the way for MBL. And Scale Mail Armor also for MBL. Lion goes down to some archers. And another spear goes down. Yeah, I was going to be at the canceled Berlin LAN in December. But that did, of course, get canceled. So we'll see. Hopefully there'll be another event soon. RIP GL. So Scout's getting in as T90 has to go for the house walls. Does fill that hole at the back of his base and clicks up to the Castle Age, but will be a good minute behind MBL. Doesn't over chop at least. There's 60 wood left in that tree. And he'll be doing a second layer of houses behind this wall just to be extra safe. So, MBL, did I say he researched horse collar? I'm just now realizing he's the Franks, so got that for free. T90 had to invest into it. Extra smooth to add the spears, though, as the Franks, because you have that berry bonus and you don't need horse collar. So, forging for MBLs, he's about to break in. T90 with a second stable. Could think about camels as the Berbers, or even just cheap knights. That's the hard thing about a LAN, too, because it's such a condensed time period. There aren't too many sets. Or if there are, then you end up going into the wee hours of the morning. And spears coming into poke as we have one big engagement as players are up to the Castle Age, where MBL is up. T90 wants to engage before MBL gets his upgrades, so will sacrifice all of the scouts to kill as many archers as he can. We'll pull the scouts out as they're pretty low on HP. MBL continued adding spears, maybe anticipating T90 wanted to jump before upgrades came in. And all in all, that felt like a good fight for MBL at the end of it. Still has a couple of archers to turn to crossbows that are forward. T90 lost most of his scouts. Still has a few left if he needs to pick off monks. And T90 did have to invest into a tower on the gold. If you look at the market, nothing used at the market, and MBL simply can add in 2 additional TCs for a total of 3 and start booming. Couple of houses here for T90. The house goes down. And we will have chain barding armor on the way. Bill's running away. The downside for T90 is now this mill, and the fact that the Bills will try to drop off at the mill rather than the TC. Part of me thinks he needed to delete the mill and replace it with a house at some point. Just so the Bills wouldn't drop off. To cast the next mill, I don't know if there will be a next one. And thank you, Thendor88, for the follow. So MBL breaks through. T90 did Stonewall to the TC, but there's still a house foundation. If he's able to do husbandry and pump knights, he can fight the army. But the problem will be then that MBL is booming behind us. MBL has pikemen added in. And in this fight, T90 might not even win the fight with the pikemen in there. Crossbows doing damage. Knights have +2 armor and bloodlines, but not enough, and T90 will call the GG as MBL takes it. And that faster transition to the Castle Age was so smooth for MBL, and he's booming behind this. T90 probably doesn't even need to check that MBL's booming behind it. I don't have a Sean Connery accent, unfortunately. Fancy cat pics. It's 15-15. KD, I'm very American, very Jersey in my accent. And nicely done from MBL. So now we restart Capture Age. Get just a quick ad between the games. Then we check the next game, which will be T90 versus Nikov. T90 versus Nikov. Franks feel so useless. They get good eco, but their civ bonuses are only fast eco into knights, if not upgraded into cav. Husbandry is better. And their civ bonus, not having other options, Yeah, I've always felt that was the case. Early on in DE, there were a lot of pranks picking on the ladder, but I never really got the impression that they were that good of a civ. They have weaknesses to cav archers, and the lack of skirm upgrades and imps can hurt them. So with all the T90 casts, people watch them. We're here just making sure I have enough content for the full stream. Wasn't a Jordan Kingstone set scheduled for last night? Albert, I was planning to cast that set, but unfortunately, they played it privately and it will be casted as Rex, and that wasn't indicated on the schedule, so it will be casted as Rex at some point, I think on Friday. So I would have loved to have casted that. That was my original plan, to cast that set today. But without those games, we will instead cast T90, who thankfully played 3 games today. Makes up for it. Oh, and there are... Oh my gosh, Nikov, please fish boom in this pond. Please, you get some cliffs to wall to the edge of the map. Wall here, and then fish boom in the pond. Oh, that feels luring a boar. She's not going for the pond, is she? Is she, please? Oh. I got excited for a moment. I hoped she was a Dockville. And these apartments were made in the 70s, so that explains why it looks very 70s. So another one of those Arabia maps with the large and flat hills in the middle. You can get your TCs up on top of these hills, but the player bases themselves are very flat, reminiscent of those old valley maps from Voobly. And people seem to like the wood paneling, the fake wood paneling. I guess it doesn't matter if it's fake as long as it looks good enough for the webcam. That's fine, right? Yep. Sits in a remote cabin in the woods. Based on my internet quality, I can understand that you're thinking that.
Timo. Billimbaan.
Sim.
Yeah, T90 down in Florida, me up some remote location in the woods. Just helping him take care of his farm, because it's so far away from him. Wild boar under the TC for Nikov, second lure, and nicely done. Have chicken. Also, this is Chicken Arabia. Chicken Arabia. Nikov, not going to go for the funnel. Oh, I would have enjoyed a good chicken funnel. Would have been a nice funnel. You could have gated here, walled to the edge of the map with houses, and then done a few palisades here, and then go right to the TC. I always enjoy a good funnel. And T90's funnel would have been farther away. Chickens are safer in the back. But from what I've seen, players don't usually mill them. They usually long distance take them. It does feel like Nikov's chickens may be a bit closer to the TC than T90's are, but I guess it's just a few tiles. Also a bit awkward using the back of the TC instead of the front. So berries over here for T90. He will mill them. Not going to go for any type of pre-milled rush. Hard to pull that off as the Huns when you have minus 100 wood. Building the houses doesn't quite make up for that all that quickly. I see it. Thank you, Paul. Pauline Ho. Thank you very much. Is this ladder? This is ladder. This is T90 ladder league.
Timo.
He plays the ladder instead of casting TTL. Apparently he had friends coming over today, which meant he went offline and played 2 games of AoE2 of Arabia. Oh, he's going for the double deer push, the double mouflon push. T90 pushes 2 deer. There we go. Oh, he's doing it. Look at him go. Gets one.
Second.
Time for the second. Oh, this makes up for not funneling. Let's go, double mouflons. Hello, Strode. How you doing? Friends coming over. Nikov and Golly on the ladder. And MBL was from earlier today. That was from before he streamed. This is his first post-stream game. Don't see why you shouldn't build them. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of players don't actually take all of the chickens, and part of the reason they don't want to mill them is because they don't want to leave the vills exposed and out there by the chickens. They'd rather long distance take them at some point, but then stay near the TC. Nikov may be the exception to that, taking the chickens by the mill, but also using the mill as part of his wall. So getting some more utility out of the mill than just a chicken drop site. Take all his internet bandwidth. So he can't upload. And Jed Rules 97, thank you for the follow. Follower number 14,956, according to my OBS counter. Thank you very much. Is this live? These are some Rex he played earlier today. We're catching up with T90's ladder adventures. So Feudal Age here from T90, Feudal Age for Nikov, both up at about the same time. Huns versus Portuguese, and what will he do? T90 will go for a stable. What will Nikov do? He will go for an archery range, and T90 needs to turn around and scout that. So no mill yet for the berries, just a mill on the chickens. Maybe as the Portuguese, it is more tempting to mill the berries so you get your wood bonus. But if you secure that part of your map and aren't pushed off, then getting the range in front of it could lead to a feudal mill. So you're just timing the eco boost a bit differently. As Nikov will finish taking one last chicken by that mill, and then probably wall this off with his vills, and wall up in front of the berries to the edge of the wood line, wall down towards the TC, and actually be very safe with how close to the map the TC spawned with the gold in the back. T90's map, not so easy to wall with that gold, at least protected by his military buildings. But won't be in the back and as pleasant to defend. Few berries in the back, though, at least for T90. Those will help him out, and Nikov goes to finish the walls. Yeah, no fish boom, though. No fish boom for Nikov, which is extra sad. Did T90 scout the pond? He didn't even scout the pond. Sometimes you can send the Vil and fish boom in peace, because the pond is so far away. You're relying on your enemy not scouting it. But there's a quick range from T90. Range before any farms. No double bit axe from him. Nikov with double bit axe. So Nikov has more eco upgrades than T90 has. That's what the year 2026 has in store for us. Nikov, the player, doing the eco upgrades. Yeah, T90 can fish boom in the middle if he wants to. Nikov would never expect that. He has scouted the pond, though. Everything walled in the back. T90 had better be ready for a gate by the mill if he wants to trap that. Nikov not gonna walk into that area, though. And we'll have horse collar for Nikov, as T90 will mill the chickens, actually. Milling them, but rather lately milling them. Rather late with the mill. Scout diving the TC just a bit. And the gate gonna be a tile off. Now the chickens have to run away. Oh, he has to do another gate. Double gate from T90 as he tries to dive the spears with all of his scouts. He's hitting the spears with the Vils. So nicely done on that fight. The spear still gets a poke off, though. He will lose a scout. But all the archers go down. The spears go down. 2 scouts lost in the fight. But the rest of Nikov's army cleared. I think Nikov's probably okay with that engagement. T90 will try to wall up the rest of his base. Did MBL win? Yes, he did. Checkmate. Yes, indeed. If chickens are more exposed and very safe, you can always get both with chickens first. That's true. That's true. And you can always long distance take 3 or 4 chickens and then leave the rest out there and go for the berries. Also remember, the chicken numbers vary. You can have 6, 7, or 8 chickens. So you might look at them and maybe mill 8 chickens when you wouldn't mill 6 chickens, because the mill wouldn't be as valuable with only 6. Lots of different ways to play the chicken meta, I think.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
There's another farm for T90. Scouts hit the palisade wall. And another scout goes down, poked by the spear. Another house for Nikov.
Ao seu dispor.
Look at all those chicken metas. And blacksmith for Nikov, so he is looking to stay safe. Not adding the stable, just adding the blacksmith. with 11 farms and the chickens and the berries, he will want to click up to the next stage. Skirm's still patrolling the hill. Couple of wild horses to the side. And mining camp going up for T90. Fabulous hair. Thank you, Jedvilles.
Beating
I
back.
do need to get a haircut soon, but thank you. Oh, spear chased by a wolf. Go wolf. Go wolf. I think the spear wins the fight. But maybe the wolf finds a friend, and then we have 2 wolves on a spear. Meanwhile, T90 walling up, he'll do his blacksmith. Nikov thinking about clicking up. T90 shouldn't be able to get in. Double ranges from Nikov. And the other wolf did not get aggroed onto the spear. So Castle Age clicked for Nikov first. T90 won't be too far behind. Needs a bit more gold. And that wolf continues eating the spear. T90 will decide to fight the spear along with the wolf, loses the scout, and goes back to pick it off. He'll let the wolf finish off the spear, and there it goes. Go wolf, he's aware of it. T90 using the wolf. Woo, woo, woo. 11 resign now. Let's go. Get your woo, woo, woo emotes in the chat for T90. Using the wolf. Using the wolf. Oh, the wolf even gonna go for the villager. The villager has to avoid opening the gate. And he didn't sell the stone. He didn't sell the stone, Sean. Archers take down the scout. And Nikov laughing at the scouts there who path found their way into some archers. Gigafy and emote. Thank you, Elevid. Skirm's going for the spear and the archers. Skirms come around. They will shoot down at the archers. Spear goes down. Archers have to run around. And we will indeed have Castle Age here for T90 as the archery range comes up for him at the front. 2 ranges popping out and some skirms out from the ranges. Skirms keeping the archers away, and a wolf goes to eat the skirmishers. Gets a bite out of them, and the wolf goes down. If you aggro and then outwall 1 wolf at the start of the game, you can build yourself a 24/7 automated hole checker. The wolf keeps running in. That's a good one. That's a good one. You ever see the wolf going for a build and you realize what it's doing. So 96% there. T90 abandoning the range. So 3 archery ranges at the front of his base. Not as exciting as Neutral Islands. There, Vil finishes the range. And we'll have Leather Archer Armor and Elite Skirm coming in. And Town Watch for T90. Town Watch. I wish the answer to crossbows was cav instead of more skirmishers. Skirm's OP. So workshop for Nikov as he goes for 2 TCs. T90 still on 1. And he'll need to get some eco damage done if Nikov's going to stay on TCs like that. And Skirm's going for the gate. T90 would like to break through the palisade gate. At least that would force Nikov to ungarrison the crossbows. Since he is going for crossbows, he won't want to fight the Skirms immediately. We'll try to be annoying behind the woodline though, and T90 will have to pull the Vil back. And crossbows look like they're going to break in. T90 will try to chase with the Skirms before they do. And Nikov will have to make a decision to go in or not, and he is deciding to go in. And even if he doesn't kill Vils, we'll get a lot of idle time. T90 needs to start putting the Skirms on the inside. There's 1 Vil down. And did he just delete a hole that would let the crossbows out? He's trying to stone wall. Nikov focusing down the villagers. And all the Vils going down. That's now 6 kills for Nikov. Not enough room in the TC. He is killing more Vils. Finally, the crossbows splattered by the Skirms. Now there are some crossbows outside the woodline too. Up to 8 villager kills for those crossbows. And looks like everything is going down finally. But from outside the woodline, will that be 1 more Vil? Yes, it will. And T90 will call the GG. He was thinking about doing a workshop in the middle, but with that, devastation in his eco. He's down 53 to 35. Nikov with 2 TCs, perhaps recognizing that T90 on 1 TC would be in an unrecoverable eco position with that. And Agent Mater and Saint Taiwan, thank you for the follows. As T90 loses his eco. Lower Knight HP. Knights are OP? I don't know about that. Probably just due to pathing right now. So, minute faster. Not even, 45 seconds faster to the Castle Age for Nikov, but not even with the Wolf on his side. Well, T90 managed to pull out the win there. And next we'll have T90 versus Golly. So let me just grab that wreck, restart Capture Age so we don't have any issues with the VRAM running out, hopefully. Say a quick prayer to doubt that Capture Age doesn't eat all the VRAM and crash my PC for the second time this stream. Don't want to lose 550 plus viewers between YouTube and Twitch. But here we are, we'll have Golly as the Cumans. Oh, and Porphy Rogenitis, thank you for the sub for 12 months.
Very well, brave Rodrigo. Face the night afoot.
So what days am I in London? Should visit Bletchley Park. They have a pretty nice museum there, I hear. I've never been there. What days am I in London? I don't know exactly yet. I don't know. I need to plan that out. That's what all the subs are for. They help me plan my trip. The more subs, maybe the more days I'll be there. What do you reckon it would... So, Firebrand Tactics says we're getting started. We have a 3-build Dark Age. I can actually talk to the chat for a moment during the games. We have another one of those huge hill middles on Arabia, the flat hilltops. What do you reckon it would take to make Victoria useful for the pros? Right now, they're very useful if you play Rage Forest. They're useful on the flank for fast imps. Andy did that a lot last time I saw him play Rage Forest. So they're situational. They're definitely situational, but still useful sometimes. Thank you, Roadrunner. 86
And
for the
what
sub.
have the Mongols sent me? No doubt a bribe begging me not to destroy them.
And there we have 2 minutes before T90 says GL. So, oh, is he just lamenting the loss of Gamer Legion, or is he saying good luck? Back on Voodoo, we typed GLHF in the lobby before playing. Nowadays, I once had someone resign because I typed GLHF so fast at the start of the game. They were just like, oh, your APM's too high, I'm gonna lose, and they resigned. Math nerds can revel in the aura of Turing together. I'd love to do some type of group thing. That would be fun. I'll have to figure out who is around to do that. So Rhino going down to the TC. And some bills over on the wood line for Golly. So Golly is the Cumans. Is this a good map for a 2 TC Cuman Boomin? The only TC location I'm seeing is at the very forward gold on the wood line. And T90, if he gets to the Castle Age fast as the Georgians, pressures this hill with churches and mangonels. I think a 2 TC boom here looks pretty risky. That might have to be a normal Cuman's eco game. Maybe it has to be some type of very heavy feudal army to make sure that T90, if he gets castle, can't take this hill. These hills look very scary right outside of Golly's base. At the same time, T90 with his gold super forward by a hill. At least he has a back of gold in the corner. He could go for huge walls, and that might be what he's doing. And then keep a woodline and a gold safe. TC on the backs. Ooh, actually, now that you point that out. He could do the TC on the left side of the back stone. That leaves the stone exposed. But this hill doesn't threaten that TC as much. I mean, maybe the TC just goes on the inner wood and you don't take any resource. Your gold's really exposed. I would take this gold, but with the hills, I don't think you can fit a TC there. Also hard to click up super fast with all the chickens. I don't know if that hurts the Cumans or helps them compared to the other player. Ever had Regicide Rumble? We did a couple of Regicide FFAs with the Civ Builder mod. I'd like to do another one sometime soon. I guess Krakenmeister will probably need some time to update the Civ Builder after the new DLC, but maybe sometime over the summer after, maybe between Red Bull and the Brazil land, we might have time to fit one in. So here's a 4 barracks from T90.
KT-Lars.
And Georgians Kumans are just wondering how T90 is going to scout Golly's plan and then pressure it if he does see a second TC. The way I've seen this so far, we do have Loom already for Golly. And Kumans can be played a variety of ways, but the 2 TC boom I think usually is the strongest. And I like your idea, chat, of putting the TC out here by the woodline and the stone. And the scout for T90 will run around by the chickens and see. Yep, a couple of chickens were taken. T90. Oh, this is where the mule cart becomes incredibly useful on the chicken versions of Arabia. You can take the chickens and chop some wood near them. We saw Georgians picked quite a bit in cartographers when I made Chicken Arabia. So there is a barracks from T90 as the scout will reveal a hole in the wall. Did I say barracks from T90? I meant barracks from Golly, as T90 will scout it and see the hole, immediately doing the palisade right next to the hole. And Golly up to the feudal age. And will we see another TC? We will see a range, and T90 will see that range too. Scout in position to figure out exactly what Golly's doing. So he's realizing, okay, I'm not going to have to play a game where I'm pressuring a Kuman boom. I will have to play a normal game with men-at-arms, and I will send my men-at-arms around the back. So T90 harassing with the scout at the front near the range will draw the attention of Golly's Kuman scout, and T90 has to be careful that scout is faster than normal. But his goal was to draw the scout away so it doesn't scout the militia into men-at-arms. Maybe the timing is slightly off in that they'll hit the berries before their men-at-arms. 15 in-game seconds is probably fine, but reacting properly is Golly, who makes 2 palisades just as T90 arrives. And now the trouble is walling the lumber camp, but looks like that is successful. The men-at-arms are there. Now the question is, does T90 do arson, and does he add more men-at-arms? And archery range forward for T90. Looks like he's looking to get walled up fully. Late game Georgians versus Kumans. I would worry about Kipchaks were I the Georgians. Other than that, Georgians should have a great eco. Here's a mirror of the civ builder that is up at the moment, which is mostly working with a few visual issues in the tech tree. Yeah, the website's great, but it would be useful still to have some UI improvements. Never been to a big LAN before. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky. I've known AoE people since before we were as large of a LAN or esports scene.
Salam.
Vill's chopping wood at the back as the men-at-arms run around. They could get in. Will be walled up. Walled up by Golly. And the men-at-arms at the palisade. T90's trying to patrol stack. You don't need to patrol stack. You can just fight normally. Spear forward for Golly, trying to scout what T90's doing. So far I saw the main res, but we'll come forward and see the massive walling project that T90 has engaged in. And a few archers for Golly will come to the back and try to clean up some men-at-arms. And they will be cleaned by the archers. It's one going down. Second going down, and then probably a third going down. Very nice and speedy cleanup with 4 fletching archers for Golly. When you don't have skirms mixed in to protect the men-at-arms, archers shred them once they get good numbers, and we saw that there. Dang, that was fast. Looking snappy. Hello, HQ. Have I seen the Naval rework news dropped on the AoE2 site? I haven't seen any updates posted publicly about it. I did see, of course, the Thalassocracy Cup, and I do know some more details from internal balance discussions, but I haven't seen anything else publicly posted. And oh, T90, there's a hole. Does T90 realize there's a hole? He sent a skirm there to scout. It's an official blog post. Was that released today? We can take a look at it after the game if it was just released. Are demos not going to be as sad? So some walls going up for T90. Demo's 5x blast radius. Give the people what they want. Yeah, return to the days of the HD edition where there was the bug where demos didn't have their damage taper off linearly towards the end of the blast radius. Give us the full 100% damage anywhere within the blast radius. That's the upgrade people want, I guarantee you. That is the upgrade people want. Honestly, maybe that's the right idea. Like water, people find it boring, just make it full demos. I'll elevate ready with the explosion emote. Oh, trapping T90's scout. Oh, there we go, Golly with the double gates. Trapping the scout, has a few archers in the back. Is T90 going to micro? He's probably patrolling the scout on no attack stance. Campaign-like, but loses the scout. Wonderfully done from Golly. And get some Fs in the chat for T90's scout. I think he has an F emote. Get that in the chat. And we'll have another archery range coming up. Oh, T90 even appreciates it. He says nice. He can appreciate a nice double gate. He's a man of culture. Happens to him, and he's just like, well done, well done. Demos trash units. Yeah, press F to pay respects for T90's scout. Gate still going up for T90. It's fine. Does he have a nice emote? Doesn't he have T90 nice as an emote too? There's like a thumbs up emote. That's an OG one, if I recall. Yeah, I know he has the loot. Fishing ships can gather gold from whales in open seas. Is that actually a thing? Because there's already the oysters. Are they adding... What about Nessie? Can they gather from Nessie? Yeah, T90 nice, exactly. Now that's from before the mustache. That's an old one. Don't kill Nessie. Nessie gives stone. Maybe we can send Vils out on boats to pray at Nessie, like the Greeks at Asian mythology. And they'll gain favor. And then you can buff the magic aspects of AoE 2, like the Shravamshrider shields, or the hero units of 3k, if you pray at Nessie enough. So forward barracks from Golly. I mean, not barracks. Forward siege workshop from Golly. As Golly is not up to the Castle Age yet, but as the Kumans, you can lay that foundation. You can lay the foundations of Castle Age aggression. And there we go. Up to the next stage. Workshop placed atop the hill. And archers ready to dance with skirms. Bobkin on the way. Nessie, a fishing spot with infinite food. I think Nessie should fight back and eat your fishing ships. Like if there's a pond on Arabia and you start fish booming, Nessie can come eat the fishing ships. Defensive workshop for T90. He is stone-walled. If you're stone-walled, part of me thinks you put the TCs down and boom before going for the workshop. Thank you as Mommy1 for the follow. Number 14,960 on Twitch. We are closing. We are so close to 30k subs on YouTube and 15k followers on Twitch. I'll definitely hit that in the next few days, and then whenever I finally get around to uploading a YouTube video again, other than a stream. I need to do that at some point. I really want to get back to YouTube editing while I'm still keeping the streaming up. Pushing Georgians always feels hard with the churches they have. That it does. And you know what? That's something T90 as the Georgians maybe could consider TCs and churches instead of a mangonel defense. That way you're using your eco bonus, and you're using all of your bonuses. Because the building repairs cost less, and there's a huge hill in the middle of the map, but where's that bonus? There, units and buildings receive minus 15% damage when located on higher elevation. I guess that doesn't matter for the enemies on higher elevation. I feel like down here attacking you. I was thinking he could build them around the inner circle, but maybe the mangonels reach from the outer circle. And he's keeping the pressure up. And then, of course, you have the churches buffing your eco, and he has a ton of gold in the back where he can make a defense. Two cav civs play archer skirms. What they do? So So Skirm's hitting more Vills. Vills on the gold have to run. Go back to... I miss when people would play Arena. I would cast more Arena. And Girthamir, thank you for the follow. As the Mangonel misses the Skirms. Skirms have to go back and forth a bit. Running away from the Mangonel. Lots of map control for Golly. But he's going to need to push. Although T90, you wanted Cav. Here we have double stables. T90 not adding TCs behind this. And doing a great job of hiding the stables, not revealing them. Oh, looks like he got a good hit on crossbows too. Another good hit on crossbows. Loses the Mangonel, but he kills a good handful of crossbows in the process. Keeps that Mangonel useful. Skirms pushing forward, hitting a Vil as a Mangonel shoots over the spear. Skirms takes down the Vil. Crossbows will hit the houses, Mangonel pushes forward, and a couple of knights on the way in the back. That's 1, 2, 3. Third TC from Golly. And the knights pop out of the stables, come forward. And nice attack rounds on the knights. One Mangonel goes down. Knights attacking the other Mangonel. Crossbows retreat up the hill. Skirms hit the villagers. Low HP Vil goes down for Golly. And the Skirms will maybe hit the crossbows from atop the hill? No, they're gonna just pass. They're just passing. Like ships in the night. Like kings in a kami game. Oh, nice Mangonel shot on the Skirms. T90 will clean everything, clean the crossbows. And behind this, though, he is 1 TC versus 3. And that's what worried me about this approach. Yes, the Georgian Eco will be nice with the churches, but you will fall behind in Vils. Now he's doing the second TC. At the very least, he alleviated all of the pressure, and now we'll research Heavy Plow for the farms. Good morning, Soxy. Good morning. What's T90's record today? He's lost to MBL and to Nikov, so he's 0-2. But here he has a healthy score lead over Golly, even though Golly does have more Vils. He tried. Also, thank you everyone. We got 500 on Twitch and almost 100 on YouTube. People just watching T90 play some random ranked games. So, forging on the way for T90 as the Skirms go to push through the blacksmith. And on the way, this workshop, hit by the Mangonel from T90. Don't Mangonel your own knight. Getting dapper today, thank you. Would he ever beat MBL or Nikov? MBL said there was a 0% chance he would lose to T90. But sometimes things with probability 0 still happen. So, wheelbarrow on the way for Golly. And thank you, Jockey23, for the follow. He's definitely capable of taking a game here or there from a high-level player. Well, he was over 2K5, but that's what happens. You peak and you're gonna roller coaster a bit. Over time, you might oscillate upwards, but you have to be aware that your peak is not where you will stay forever, and you will go up and down. You have to be prepared for that mentally. There's chain barding armor for T90. No, it's still measure 0, but sometimes events with probability 0 happen. It's not... Measure 0 is non-empty. Okay, it's non-empty. So Cav Archer swap coming in from Golly as the Kumans. You can do step husbandry for super fast Cav Archer production, but without Bracer, they fall off in the late game. I'm saying there is a chance. I'm saying that a chance of 0 still is a chance. Mangonel killed by the Cav Archers. There's actually a bug in map scripts where you can make a list of random events and list a probability next to them. And if the first thing in the list is given percent chance 0, there is still a chance that it happens. That is a bug in the map scripting engine. Where's the Repairville? Doesn't have a Repairville, it would seem. T90 adding in Knights. So at least we have Cav Civs doing Cav now. Cav Archers for the Cumans. Knights for the Georgians. The Healing Knights for the Georgians. Golly with the Mangonel still, but less useful against the Knights. Oh, we have a Knight swap from Golly. Okay, both players doing Knights. Cuman Knights faster. Georgian Knights heal. T90 will build a castle on the hill in front of his gold. He's gotten his 3TC boom going himself with churches everywhere. Needs maybe a couple more churches on the farms, but so far so good. He is mangonelling some crossbows, gets a nice pair of mangonel hits, and will lose a mangonel in the process though. Will he lose 2 mangonels? Yes, he likely will if this mangonel shoots. Okay, no, it doesn't shoot. At the same time, T90 finishes the castle. T90 was microing over here with the Knights. But the Cav Archers and the Knights should be able to pick off. What's his APM? I have to check AoE2 Insights for his APM. We can check Insights for the APM. And Mangonel hits the Cav or misses the Cav Archer, shoots over them. So now armor for the Knights for Golly. Bill count's still a healthy lead for Golly, but T90 up to Imp. And with the fortified churches boosting his vills, even with fewer vills, he has stayed equal with Golly in economy. And both players, 3TC is not 4. Golly will be Imp in just a moment too, doing heavy plow, forging, and gold shaft mining. Golly housed too. He needs to add in the houses with a few more vills. And now Golly finishing that main gold. Still has gold in the back. University finished. I think Golly might have been missing some... Oh, this is awful. Was missing the university. And then was missing the monastery because the workshop at the front was destroyed by T90. And you need... Wait, where's the other workshop? Is there another workshop? Oh, I guess there isn't another siege workshop. So yeah, when you click up to the next stage, you need to have both buildings constructed at the same time. So if you lose your workshop before doing the university, you won't unlock the ability to advance to Imp. And Golly's suffering from not just 1, but 2 lacking buildings since the workshop was cleaned. I noticed how big the discrepancy in res collected was based on just idle equal, even for identical civs. Yeah, honestly, that's one of the things. Now, there's always the big question I've seen for, what, almost 13, 14 years now since I've been doing AoE2. People always ask, when do you get wheelbarrow? And try to do a lot of math to model the effect on your eco. My hypothesis is that matters very, very little compared to the way you manage your vills during raids and how much excess idle time you have versus keeping the vills working. That there are far, far more important aspects to eco management than the actual eco upgrades. So, T90 breaking through with some Manaspas now, And with the Manaspas breaking in, T90 will get a win. So his record today on the ranked ladder will be 1 for 2, losses to MBL and Nikov, wins against Golly as the Knights were just about to murder some vills. Constructing a TC, Golly said, I will resign while they still have their lives. I won't finish this castle and go for a Treb fight. Imagine a couple of Trebs, maybe Imp was a minute or 2 sooner if the buildings were managed. And that always, you feel that when the buildings aren't there in time. So that's a 41 to 25 KD for T90. Congrats to him figuring out the Cumans and how to deal with the Cumans. Allows for long stretches of idle TC. Might be better than idle vills. This was a normal ladder game during Octo. T90 can't play in TTL because he's hosting it and it's Microsoft sponsored. So that was just a normal ladder game. And yeah, he's not playing anymore. So was there a news post posted today? I don't see one. The last news post I see is Team Vitality, welcome to AoE2. of AOM. New naval news. Okay, tell me where the naval news is. Can someone link it to me? Check AoE 2. Thank you, Big Joey, for the follow. I'm clicking the news button and nothing's happening. Look at this. Everyone giving me my naval warfare overview. All right. So, I'm gonna have to try to play an ad in 90 seconds to delay ads. All right, naval warfare overview. Look at the bloom they left turned on for this screenshot. Oh my gosh. Blinding. The 3D water effects. The map lighting, that greenish Ville in the corner. Naval warfare overhaul. Also, hello articles on the side. At least these are not like spam articles. They're just other... The guest blog. Other articles on the website. Anyway, set sail for a new naval adventure in AoE 2DE. Naval prowess was a cornerstone of empire building in the Middle Ages. From Viking raids to Italian trade and Portuguese exploration, many civilizations leveraged the seas and rivers to establish their dominance. To do this history justice, the next update will bring expanded naval gameplay in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, adding 4 new ships, new technologies, map elements, new animations, and more. The expanded naval warfare will be available to all Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition owners, and will release alongside The Last Chieftains on February 17th for Steam, Microsoft Store, Xbox, and PlayStation 5, getting all the marketing words in one sentence. You can trade for wood, that worries me. that scared the heck out of me when you could do it in AoE 4, and I don't like that. That scares me. That makes me think water games don't end. So the Hulks, we saw them. I was not a fan of the Hulk at all. I felt that, along with the demo nerfs, it was Hulks in small ponds, or Hulk versus Galley on the water. And the maps like Kawasan with small ponds became one ship. Instead of fires and demos, they became just Hulks. But we'll see if the demos are still nerfed. So Hulks are fast ships whose crews hurl short-ranged grappling hooks in close combat. Hulk's high armor offers excellent resistance against fireship attacks, but their close quarters focus makes them vulnerable to the missile attacks of longer-range ships like galleys. Hulks upgrade to War Hulks and then Carracks. These ships benefit from melee attack upgrades, forging, iron casting, and blast furnace at the blacksmith. So my thoughts were just, if they're gonna do the Hulk, they need to reverse the water triangle and have fires be the ships that counter galleys that are highly armored against the arrows. Galleys counter the Hulks, and then Hulks... Or, wait, no, fires counter the Hulks. Fires counter the Hulks. Hulks counter galleys, and galleys counter fires. The thinking that when you're in melee range, the fire ship needs to be in melee range, and it doesn't make sense to have 2 melee ships where the Hulk is then used against the fires. Why do you need fire ships to counter galleys when you can make Hulks? Right, because the speed of the Hulks means that they counter the galleys. And the speed is part of their problem. Because in small numbers, Hulks still beat galleys. You need to have a lot of room to micro galleys, and large open areas of water for the galleys still to be useful. And it doesn't make sense that the melee ship would resist the fire. Right? You can heavily armor it and resist galley shots, but not fire ship fire. Like, it's still made out of wood, it still has sails, it's gonna burn. So, Catapult Galleon. Okay, it's a long-range ship used by civilizations without access to cannon galleons, drones, or Lutrons. This is for the American civs. They're adding a South American DLC, and they were like, you know what? All these civs cannot go without cannon galleons. Several existing ships also have received new animations, including moving oars, sails, or oars. Wait, what? Well, why did you just throw that in for the Catapult Galleon? That should be, like, at the top. Like, boom, with a little GIF showing the animation of the row and oars. I'll just throw that in Catapult Galleon, sneak that in. Now, so new and updated technologies, right. To complement the new additions, the upgrade system for mainline warships was also revised. The new medium warships and heavy warships technologies now upgrade galleys, fireships, and hulks. However, auxiliary vessels such as demolition rafts, cannon galleons, and unique ships still use separate upgrades. Fishing lines is now a feudal age precursor to gill nets and increases fishing ship carry capacity. 4 new technologies are now available in the university, offering players more options to strengthen their warships. Carvel hull and clinker construction to increase ship movement speed, siphons and incendiaries to bolster fire ships' explosive potential. Alongside these technologies, careening, dry dock, and shipwreck have been modified and are now available at the university. Oh, look at these icons. Why is a capsized ship an icon? Updated careening icon, updated dry dock icon. What? I don't want to research my ships falling over. Is this... Did I missay clinker? I'm gonna missay that a lot, aren't I? Yeah, so... That's how they cleaned the hole on the beach. Really? Okay, well, I guess it's not fully underwater. Turn a ship on its side for cleaning, caulking, or repair. Careening means to lean a ship on its side to clean it or repair it. Okay. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Oh, careening icon. Updated careening icon. Updated dry dock icon. Okay, so they changed the icons because the icons were boots on the deck of a ship because they used to increase transport ship carry capacity. So, okay, it's about time those were updated. Easy Google. Right, so this was something I did not like in Thalassocracy. And I think it made it so that comeback potential on water was really not there. And the medium warships and heavy warships upgrading all 3 unit lines. The thing is right now, if think about like crossbow, pikemen, knights, they all have their own upgrades. So going into one line of units means you need to invest into the upgrades. And then if your opponent goes to the counter unit, it takes you time then to make a unit and invest into the upgrades to counter the counter unit. Here, there's no penalty to swapping between ships. Other than maybe the blacksmith upgrades for the fletching line versus the melee line for galleys versus hulks. You just swap between them, and you invest so much into the upgrades, and you invest heavily into galleys, and then making fire ships, there's no issue. You just go right from one to the other. So you get an advantage, and then you don't have that aspect of losing the advantage because your opponent goes for the counter. You just then counter the counter right away. You change the ships you're making in the dock. So I never liked this idea from Thalassocracy, and having the demos be the only thing that needs their own upgrade means that demos quickly fall off, because why would you ever do that upgrade unless demos were super powerful? And other upgrades are at the university, but they're very specific. They're only fireship upgrades. So you have fireship upgrades at the university, fletching line at the blacksmith, and then melee line for the hulks. If you're playing a hybrid map, and you have multiple units on land too, you might have those upgrades anyway. And the only real thing is siphons and incendiaries, which from what I saw, didn't have too much of an impact on fire ships, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. And same thing, careening, dry dock, shipwright, those are all general affect all the ship's techs. They're not per ship techs. So, new economy and production. Fishing ships can gather gold from whales in open seas. Okay, nice to have new map elements. I like stuff like that. When threatened, they can garrison inside of docks for protection. That's something I also didn't like. That garrisoning inside of docks, I think, makes the game more snowbally. Because whether you're destroying fishing ships or garrisoning them inside of docks, you're still kind of doing eco damage. But let's say you lose the water, but then sneak a few galleys or sneak a few fire ships into the opponent's eco, you're no longer destroying their fishing ships. They're garrisoning in the dock, and then when they bring their navy back to clear you, then they just pop back out again. It's not like in the past they'd have to run the fishing ships, or lose the fishing ships, and you'd cause much more damage even from a position when you're behind on the water. And I think this contributes to what I said earlier, the techs where you don't have to make a bigger investment to swap lines into the snowballiness. And I know I talked to a couple of pro players and they felt this too. They felt like there weren't any comebacks in Thalassocracy, and that it was very snowbally, which is kind of the opposite if I think what the goal of the water changes should be to make it less snowbally. But this was not something I liked when I saw it. Imagine hiding in a lumber camp under a log. And it takes a very long time to destroy a dock. So if you won the water and the ships are inside the dock, well, you're still damaging the eco. This is more of the you've lost the water, you now can't do any damage type of thing. Yeah, think of new Persian docks. And docks now use only a single user interface page. That's nice. And I know it's an issue for some newer players. Maybe there should have just been a better tutorial to teach people that there's a second dock page rather than changing the dock, but I guess that helps. We reviewed your feedback after the Thalassocracy Cup tournament last year and have made a number of changes to address several issues. In particular, Hulk damage has been reduced, demo ship explosions are more deadly, and all warships sail a bit slower. Full changelog will be available with the official patch notes coming mid-February. We'd like to thank everyone for their detailed feedback that has helped guide the balance for the new naval warfare, which we are excited to share with the entire community on February 17th. I mean, this is one aspect of why demo ships were nerfed, but this doesn't say it changed their cost at all. Maybe the cost changes and they just didn't list it in that sentence. But the demo ships basically got triple nerfed, that they were weaker, more expensive, and now had a side technology. And kind of just from a creative perspective, I liked the fact that you were playing rock, paper, scissors, and the rock exploded. It made it feel less like you were just playing rock, paper, scissors, and there was more thinking for the counter system. Now it feels more like it's just rock, paper, scissors between these ships. And I don't know, I don't think rock, paper, scissors is interesting in itself. It can help you design things, but if all what you design is rock, paper, scissors, then I think that's maybe not that interesting. So I'm still... What are whales? I don't know. I don't know what whales are. We'll find out. We'll find out. Okay, so ship statistics have been revamped to no longer rely on arcane calculations of different attack bonuses / armor bonuses, and have been greatly simplified. If I need to dig up the spreadsheets I made for the Mangrove Shallows Cup. But, I don't know. Part of me likes the fact that AoE 2 has arcane calculations, and that it's not simple. I think simplifying it is another thing that makes it less interesting. But maybe that's me. Ship combat now only uses either pierce damage or melee damage, and a single case of attack bonus long-range ship. Are they still camels? Not all changes are reflected here, as relationships are kept broadly unchanged. The Wu Fire Archer reminded you of AoE 3. Really? I don't know if is my YouTube chat updating? I haven't seen a YouTube chat in a while. Let me just refresh the page. It might just not be updating. I like reading the chat. Okay, I don't see anything else there. Okay. So, new ship line. Hulk, War Hulk, Carrick. The rope anime. I don't know what everyone else thought. I thought that the Hulks needed a graphical update because they looked too much like galleons especially later in game when they became Carracks, and the ropes just look silly. The ropes just look utterly silly. The ropes looked utterly silly. So yeah, we've seen that before. No! Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Don't reduce the damage the demo ships do. Make them more powerful. Kawasan is gonna be only Hulks now. Fires and demos at least are interesting. It's gonna be one ship. One ship now. No. Bring back the demos. I know some ships don't have, or some civs won't have them. No. Don't put that there. Don't do that to me. I mean, I might not like fishing ships can garrison into docks, but don't take the demos away from us. No. No. There's a reason people like demos. It's because they're fun. It's the one aspect of water that people find fun. Look down the Reddit now and see all the demos, all the demo posts about Viper's set. And like, oh no, this demo missed 3 vills. People like demos. Alright. Can gather gold from whales as a whaling ship. Alright. Better hope no Klingon bird of prey decloaks as you're trying to hit those whaling ships. Alright, so trade cog can now select between 3 different options for gold-wood ratio on the UI. My only experience trading for wood was in AoE 4, and I absolutely hated it. I think it made water maps stretch out way too long by the time they should have ended, so we'll see how that works. Maybe they're just trying to nerf the Fatoria by making it not the only wood option, but initially don't like that, but we'll see how it goes. Then Galley line, changing the armor class and some attack bonuses around. Fire line, okay, fire ships changes how they work. Cannon galleon and equivalents, they're going to be weak to fires. And the Oyster Gatherer has been renamed to Pearler. Uses the foraging animation instead of mining to gather from oysters. So that is just the villagers then that gather gold near the docks. They're using a different animation and they renamed them. They didn't actually do anything. They didn't give them their own animation. They just reused something else that was maybe more appropriate. Okay, guess that makes sense. Slight improvement. So, docks, some garrison. Still not a fan of that. Shoot arrows. Never really saw that come into play. So, it makes Thalassocracy for the Malay a bit less interesting. Techs are moved to the university. Dry dock effect changed to faster and more pierce armor, same as careening. Costs moved around a bit. Shipwright at the university now. Still an incredibly important tech, and not fighting dock time for Shipwright is maybe, I guess, just a difference. Maybe we'll see like a double university for chemistry plus Shipwright sometime. And gill nets, gather faster and carry +5. I would have put gill nets in, left that in feudal, made fishing lines a castle age tech, and only gave fishing lines carry capacity, so that it's useful for maps like Nomad where you run out of fish, but isn't going to affect you on Black Forest where you're in the middle pond. And then medium warships, yeah, we talked about that. Heavy demo. Cost changed. No, don't increase the cost of demos. No. Yeah, we have an ad, so I'll pause for a second. Okay, test. Hello, yes, YouTube chat. Does this mean halbs will no longer do damage to ships? Unspecified here, we'll have to check the halbs. I forget what that was during Thalassocracy. Rip Armenian's demo, maybe Cilician Fleet is the tech we need. Have all the Thalassy naval changes stayed? Stayed more or less with some bonus, with some number tweaks, I think. Male villagers already look a little like a young Ron Perlman, so that tracks. And also hello, 7 Polar on YouTube. I'll read the YouTube chat since I have the Twitch ad. I tried to snooze that for a bit. Wait for that to end. 5 seconds of ad. Did they say we heard you about the demo? I mean, they heard you. They might not have listened. So, new technologies, fishing lines at the dock, precursor to gill nets. As I said, would have liked maybe gill nets just being speed and then fishing lines a second one with carry capacity. And you would only do fishing lines for the carry capacity if you were out to sea and it wasn't an extra buff for the shorefish ponds on Black Forest. It would only buff deep sea in the late game. Or mid-game, like Castle Age on Nomad. So medium heavy warships, just some costs for them, what they do. Fire ships gain an explosive charge attack, detonate when sunk. So your martyrdom fire ships don't really know how impactful that is. Charge attack, don't give us more. Fires were lovely. Don't give them this charge attack nonsense. Get your AoE 4 out of my AoE 2. Demo ship. Available at the dock. Thank you. The demo ship is available at the dock. One thing you didn't ruin. Civ-specific changes. Yeah, and we saw this in Thalassocracy. Viking fishing ships no longer get extra pierce, or Japanese fishing ships no longer get extra pierce armor. Viking discount adjusted slightly. Portuguese no longer have demos, get even more HP. Now, they don't have Karak, and instead they get circumnavigation to set the entire map to explored. That feels like a weird tech. And then ships train faster. They don't have shipwright, but the ships train extra fast. Portuguese are going to be crazy. Gajura's fishing ships can garrison into docks. They can garrison extra fishing ships in their docks, okay? The Italians have a lower discount. They lowered the Italian discount, so that's a land nerf to them too, with ballistics and chemistry not being as cheap. Careening and dry dock are free instead of available early. And then Cannon Galleon for Aztecs, Crewmans, and... Wait. Catapult Galleon does not look like a crewman ship. Hopefully they have their own sails for it or their own graphics. Anyway, that is it then for the patch notes. That's it then for the patch notes. I wish the demos were buffed more. That's... I don't know. So my impressions of watching Thalassocracy were that water was more snowbally than it is currently, and that there were situations where we saw all 3 ships being used on late game, very open maps, but we didn't see all 3 ships on the closed, smaller pond maps, which are in some ways more common because we have a lot of hybrid maps, and those are the dominant things we see in tournaments, like in TTL right now when we have high tides or African River. We have this interplay between fires and demos. And I don't know if we're still going to have that if it becomes a Hulk Fest. So we'll see how that goes, but I've not really liked the changes that I've seen so far. But that's just my impression. I do like that the doc is getting to 1 page, and I think that the whales they're adding will be interesting. Is the Thalassocracy patch finally out? Nope, those are patch notes for the DLC. It's out February 16th or 17th? I forget the exact date, but 16th or 17th when the actual DLC comes out. That's when the Naval rework will be released, and there were just some notes about it posted today. If I can bring back my web browser. Did I close the tab? I closed the tab. Let me post this in the chat. I'll post the notes in the chat if you want to check them out yourself. There are the patch notes for you. Ooh, all right, are there any more matches today? Now, I think there's no more TTL today, unfortunately. TTL is done for today, but we did make up for it by casting some. Oh, actually, there's a match in 4 hours. I don't think I'm going to stream and be around for that, though. Chart versus Gambito. Maybe there's a chance I come back for a super late night stream. But tomorrow morning, there will be some more games starting at 14 GMT. Kapach versus Z40. And everyone in Gold League scheduled their set for Thursday. So Kapach, Z40, Doubtfire, Ganji Morgugu. I can open my browser and show you. Thanks again, Spectator Dashboard, for the lovely schedule. So this is the schedule for tomorrow. Maybe I come back after dinner and do a late night stream. Would you be around, chat, if we do a late night stream? If you do a late night stream? I might cast 1 set then. So Chart Gambito, I might be back later to cast that. And Kapach, Z40, Doubtfire. I don't think I'll do the Tux for that, though. I think I'm gonna put the Tux away. Ganji Morgugu, Yogao Jordan, Miguel Prisma, Kingstone Uzi, all tomorrow. Please stream more. I just got here. I'm sorry, Bearheads. But I'm going to need to eat dinner and do some work before we get to Chart Gambito. We streamed for, despite the crash, streamed for, I guess, 3 sets-ish today. Like that for the bot, if nothing else. Yeah. So I'll be back later in approximately 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. So you get an IV from a hospital, so I don't need to eat dinner? That doesn't sound healthy. I also need to do my physical therapy exercises for my shoulder now that I need to get back. I need to get back into the gym so I can do another Vil cosplay. Anyway, I'll be back later. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll raid someone on Twitch and end on YouTube. So I will see you all later. And let's see, ending YouTube, and then we'll find